The Los Angeles Dodgers are back-to-back world champions as the salary cap debate reaches a boiling point. The NFL trade deadline serves up several surprises, both in players moved and teams that did not participate, plus a healthy debate on which coaches are on the hot seat. All that and more right here on Coast Knows Ball.
Surely healthy, right?
Yes, it will be very healthy. We can guarantee that, folks. Guaranteed healthy debate. Because
I don't know. I don't know how it is from my end. How it's gonna be because I have some words for this Dolphins management. But
look, the point is, I think we're going to be agreeing quite a bit as far as the head coaching tier list is concerned. And frankly, I mean, we could talk a little bit of baseball before we get started because that is pretty breaking news and whatnot. But then we can just jump right into the head coaching tier list as opposed to starting with our team tier list. I think that could be a fun way to mix it up a little bit. But so for baseball news, the Los Angeles Dodgers are world champions back to back. It's the first time anyone's won back to back since the Yankees 25 years ago.
90 or the 2000s, right?
Yeah, 98 to 2000. Yeah. So I mean, congrats, I guess. A lot of talk, I will say, about people saying that the better team did not win the World Series, and I understand the Blue Jays.
That's such a sore lose the pussy shit take.
It is a sore loser take, and the Blue Jays may have outscored the Dodgers by like 11 runs in the series, but I have never seen a team so inept at hitting with runners on base in my entire life in the World Series. It was unbelievable how many times they would have a runner on with nobody out and would not score a run, or they would get 2 outs on the board already, and then they'd go on a rally, and then they'd load the bases up, and then, oh no, 3rd out, and you don't score a run still. Like, I can't believe the amount of, they were just not clutch at all, really, with the bats, and the Dodgers had the clutch bats all series, and look, it still went 7, and so, you could say there's an argument there where, man, the Blue Jays just kind of got unlucky, and they were, in fact, 2 inches from winning anyway. But holy shit, man, just show up when it matters the most.
Yep.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, but run differential is also such a bogus thing to pay attention to.
It is.
If anyone is like, oh, well, they outscored them by this much, the fucking Mets beat the Royals 9-3 in Game 3 of the 2015 World Series, and they would never had a chance of winning that World Series. Mm-hmm. They lost 1-4 in dominant fashion, but they had a game where they won 9-3. Were they the better team just because the run differential was really close? It's just such a flawed take.
And most of that run differential came from Game 1, where they won 11-4. Like, how much stock are we really going to put into a Game 1 at home when you had so much momentum off of an emotional series against the Seattle Mariners, right? Like, we've had talks in the past as well with the MLB postseason about how sometimes rest does not help these baseball teams. And so the Dodgers were a little slow in that first game, a little sluggish after having more rest than the Blue Jays. So I think a lot of that contributes. And look, at the end of the day as well, you out-hit the Dodgers in the series. I would expect you to score more runs, but you did not score enough runs in the games that mattered. Plain and simple. You had a game go 18 innings. You had plenty of opportunities to win that one. You had a Game 7 that you had tied, go into extras as well, and you couldn't win that one either. I don't feel bad for you. I hate that the Dodgers won. I hate what that looks like for the rest of the league. But I'm not going to sit here and say that they don't deserve the victory. They played well, especially Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
Facts.
Yamamoto's a fucking beast.
And the fucking meme going around right now with the hockey player with the last name Yamamoto scoring a game-winning goal.
Yeah, that's
and
fucking
Icy Vert reposted that saying, "Jesus, man, take a fucking day off. You earned it already." That shit was so funny, dude. Peak comedic delivery, Icy Vert. Go.
It reminds me of a 2021 Hunter Renfroe. Like, holy shit, man, a whole NFL season, then a whole MLB season? Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Although, baseball Hunter Renfroe definitely spells his name weird.
Yeah, with an E. It's with an E instead of a W,
yeah.
I I besides all of that, all the discourse and whatnot, I did just get into baseball, but that was a phenomenal World Series, much better than Rangers Cardinals one. Not Cardinals, Diamondbacks. So even for my parents who are just now, even I mean this season getting into baseball, they, we're looking forward to the games every night, and it was super cool. Um, I will say that yeah, the discourse for the best team lost to the World Series and whatnot. But is it worth discussing that ground rule or the ball getting stuck, that maybe the guy should have played it and whatnot? What do you guys think?
Um, that's such a tough call because look, I think that
It
the
gets ruled
fielder.
ground rule double or ground rule double every single time. I
So
think that it is inconsistent with baseball if you don't rule it that.
I think I
that's
agree with you.
basically what I was gonna say. Is I
Yeah.
wish that the fielder actually tried made an attempt to field the ball because he just stood there
Okay.
like, look, it's lodged, it's lodged. Like I get it, but you can't just rely on the umpires to make the right play. And I feel like just philosophically, as the Dodgers, they are more comfortable doing something like that because they know that more likely than not, the right play or the right call is going to be made for them. That said, it is the
Mhm.
correct call. It is very clearly lodged under. I mean, how many times do you see a ball that hits the ground and stays stuck there?
And
It
stays.
doesn't
Yeah, no,
bounce. It
it's
just
gonna.
hits right in
No.
the corner there. That is clearly a
Yeah.
lodged ball. You can see the padding shifted upward where it's lodged in. It's obviously a lodged ball. I just wish that the player made an attempt at it. But he just stood there
Mhm.
pointing at it, and that's what's annoying about it. But I can't be upset about the umpires for making the correct call.
Fair
Right.
enough.
Well,
I'm just wondering to bring
you
it
have
up
to be
because I saw a
consistent
lot
with.
of discourse about it.
Yeah, I mean, every single precedent of that situation in the past is a ground rule double. So
Mm-hmm.
I have zero issue with that call.
What you should be
Fair
more
enough.
upset about with the results of that game is how
Is the
poor
way
the
the rule
base
book is
running.
written.
No, how poor the base running was for the Blue Jays. Not
Yeah.
just that game, but for all season. I mean, look, I thought that ball was dropping that just hung up there and ended up a catch for the left fielder, and then you throw him out at second base. But I don't see why in a one out like win the World Series situation, why we're running on a ball that is obviously not like a line drive that's going to hit the ground. Like, why are we moving so far off the back? We need to be a little bit more conservative there. And so I think the base running not only killed them in that game, but also in the game 7. Did you guys see how close to third base Kiner Falefa was on that play? And
Yeah.
then he ends up two
Yeah.
inches short of home plate. Like, man, the bases are loaded. It's a force out situation
He
wherever you
also
go. You need to
slid
line
instead of
up.
diving head first when he had a sliding knee on.
Yes. Yeah, 100%
And
that
if you
too.
dive head first, you're 100% getting there faster.
Sure, yeah, and I think we 100% blame the runner entirely for that decision, but I'm gonna go
Well, I
50-50
also just
for the
blame every
leadoff.
major league team in modern history for not knowing how to fucking bunt the ball.
Hmm.
How do you not know how to execute a safety squeeze? It is the safest way to get a game-winning run in, and it is 100% effective if you know how to execute. It is so fucking simple. It is so teachable. It is so coachable. Everyone should be able to do it. It does not take talent. It just takes fucking practice, and nobody does it. It
Hmm.
is a sign of laziness. It's a sign of poor management. Baseball has lost its way with getting crafty and getting runs in. And it's sickening that nobody knows how to fucking bunt the ball in game winning situations where if they knew how to just bunt the ball, they would have won. Because
Hmm.
it's that simple if you know how to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah. And I saw a lot of people criticizing the decision to bunt as well to put Vladdy on. Was it Vladdy on third base?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have nobody
Which that was
out,
fine.
Yeah.
and
Nobody. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm fine with it too
Exactly.
because think about what I said
I'm totally
at the
fine with it.
beginning of this. You have been like god awful with runners on base all series, no matter what out situation. I will
Didn't they
sacrifice
bunt to
one.
bring up Barger too?
I don't think they did. No, I think that was an infield
Oh.
fly. Yeah, if I remember. It was a bunt. Yeah, it was a bunt out and then infield fly were the two outs before um, the eventual inning-ending play. But yeah, like I
Mhm.
just, I don't understand why he was so close to third base. Like even on a normal ground ball play like that, which is a force play at any base, why are you like 3 feet from third base? The third baseman's not in the bag. They're not going to pick you off. Like, take a huge lead so that way any play, any swing of the bat, you can get home. I understand you're worried about the pop fly in that scenario, but if a ball is popped up and you still have a big lead, you have an opportunity to get back to the bag. I can't conceive
Your
of it.
only risk is a line drive directly at the third baseman, and the third baseman gets to the bag.
Right.
Which is such an unlikely outcome. That is a less than 10% chance. You should not have to. That shouldn't be your main focus.
Especially
Your main
for a
focus should be
left-handed
getting home.
Especially for a left-handed bat up. 100%.
Especially in that situation.
So, look, at the end of the day, one team was better in the margins. One team was better when it mattered in those crucial plays. And that's the team that won. And therefore, I think the better team did win. Plain and simple.
Yeah. 100% the better team won. If you think the fucking Blue Jays are a better team than the Dodgers, you are dumb. I'm sorry, you're just dumb. There's no you can have national pride if you're Canadian and this and that, but you're just wrong.
And look,
I'm sorry.
I don't think any of the three of us are happy about saying that the Dodgers were the better team and they deserve to win. So you should take that for like some credit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we do not have any pride in endorsing the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a lot of people too, as a quick aside before we move on, a lot of people mentioning the whole Shohei Ohtani speaking English thing, and saying like, well, what does he need an interpreter for anyways? He actually did bet on games. He was doing illegal shit. Motherfucker, has nobody ever seen this before, where a player who is obviously not fluent in the language but knows the language? I mean, he's in America, he's playing around a bunch of American players, like he knows the language. Obviously,
English just fine. That interview with Vinny, he was speaking to him like a bro.
I don't think he's fluent. There's a difference between fluency and like being able to hold a conversation. Even though those two things sound the same, they're actually not. And I think Vitor, as someone who is bilingual, could probably speak to that. That fluency and holding a conversation are very different things. And
I think Otani speaking English is kind of like me speaking Spanish. Like, he wouldn't die of hunger, he wouldn't die of thirst. But if he has someone there to help him, especially speaking of millions of people being broadcasted, like, he'd probably rather have someone speak for him.
Yeah, and there are two things there, right? You can get someone who is fluent in the language who can also clarify to you. If there's a word that you're unfamiliar with, you don't want to misinterpret that in an interview. So you can get it in your native tongue. That way you really 100% know that you understand the question. And then the other thing too, I think was a great point that some people brought up is, he's also, when he's speaking in his native tongue, he's also speaking to his own fans overseas as well. You know, it's not just a broadcast for America at this point. It's a global broadcast now because of how the game has expanded. And so he is spiritually speaking to Japanese people as well in that clip.
Yeah, so Game 7 of the World Series actually had a higher viewership total than the Super Bowl did.
Concurrent, yes. Yeah.
Concurrent, yeah. Kind of nuts.
I do think it's really funny that Shohei Ohtani's two hardest thrown balls of his career are a year and a half separated, and they are both to Vinny Pasquantino. I think that is extremely hilarious.
That's very interesting. Did not know that.
Yeah, he awkwardly, or not awkwardly, but randomly throws harder, specifically to Vinny Pasquantino.
Huh. Well, food for thought. We'll keep that in mind next season.
Yeah. Whenever you bet on your velocity of next pitch, over under 96 miles per hour.
Throws a fucking eephus.
Yeah.
Well, this
was
a
98 mile an hour splitter.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we've got the MLB's talk out of our system for now. Of course, we'll have many more debates going forward about it, but it's still peak NFL season
coming up.
It's still primarily why we do this show. So we're going to move on and we're going to talk some head coaches before we move on to our actual team tier list. I've been wanting to do this for a couple weeks now. And now that all three of us are back it's been like a month since we've recorded a Coast Knows Balls segment together. So
Hey man, I've been here. I've been here for all.
My dog, my dog.
Yeah, the one constant over the last month. But so since we're all here, I decided this would be a perfect time to do a different kind of tier list. So we're gonna do NFL head coaches. One of them has already been fired, so dominoes are falling, and I think a couple of them are gonna be joining him soon. So we've got him in the fired tier list, which is the F tier already. And like we can treat it as a spiritual thing too. It doesn't just have to be Callahan in the fired tier. We could say like, okay, this coach is 100% gone by the end of the year. We can put them in that tier as well. But
Understood.
just above that, we have dead man walking or hot seat. So similar to, of course, our NFL team, D tier. And then we've got no cap, not good for our C tier. We've got bougie bosses for our B tier. We've got awesome sauce for our A tier. And then our S tier are superheroes or crops cream.
Crops cream, not cream of the crop, but crops.
No, crops cream, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Say what right now? Don't order pizza.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, the floor is your guys, I guess, to start this.
So, do we go in order? As we
I
have
think
it here,
so.
we have Aaron Glenn and one. Okay, Aaron Glenn. I mean, clearly with the approach the Jets took in this trade deadline, I clearly think he's going to be given a next year. Mm-hmm. So I, not fire, but definitely Deadman walking. He's got to show more. Just there's no reason to like any of his work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got to be in the bottom tier. He's very, very fireable right now, and he might be the most hot seat coach on the league right now.
I don't know about the hottest seat. I'm kind of with Vitor here. I think that if the team goes about the same trajectory, especially after the trade deadline moves, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but because of all that, like if they just stay afloat, while they're drowning at the bottom of the ocean, right? But if they stay kind of where they are, and maybe a couple of young players show flashes, I think that he can remain the head coach. But if things continue on this trajectory of not being good or potentially getting worse, and a couple of his outings are really bad, I think he could get fired 100%. But I think I'm leaning more Vitor's side right now.
Okay. Oh, obviously, okay. I agree with my side. So, yeah, I'm totally right.
Are you sure? You might have a change of heart.
Nah, I'm totally right.
All right. Andy Reid,
always.
We don't need to really elaborate much. Superhero,
Crop
Scream, yep.
Crop Scream, yep.
Next up is
Crops are creamed, indeed.
Yes. Next up is Ben Johnson.
He's in the B tier.
I think he's in the B tier.
Yeah, I agree.
He's
Bougie boss for
he's
sure.
Doing okay.
I think he's done a solid job so far. I think that the most impressive thing, especially the last few weeks, has been the run game, whether it's been Swift or Monangai. They've really gotten going there. And that's kind of helped take a little bit of the pressure off of Caleb Williams now that he has an efficient rushing attack. He can not play as much hero ball. He can clean up those mistakes and be a little bit more clutch, which he was against the Bengals on Sunday. So I think that kind of really worked out. And I think that's the most ideal scenario for the Bears moving forward this season, is just keeping this similar thing going on. And then, of course, you address your issues in the offseason. But look, they're right outside of a playoff spot right now. And I think a coach like Ben Johnson in his first year, that's a good achievement.
Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
Especially because I do have some complaints with Caleb. And I think he's making the office look good.
I think that Brian Dabble is unfortunately coaching himself into another season as the Giants head coach.
Look, I would have said that like 3 weeks ago, right after the Eagles win, but the last couple weeks have been fucking brutal.
It's got to be
the coaching
decisions. It's got to be.
You really think so? You think his job isn't over?
I think that he has Jackson Dart playing good enough that they aren't going to fire him.
Jackson Dart is playing good enough. He doesn't have Jackson Dart playing good enough.
He did.
That's what I'm telling you, though. But you get what I'm saying, right? They're not going to fire him.
Yeah, I agree. Not this season. I don't think. Unfortunately for the Giants fans, I don't think.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think, yeah, the most ideal sense, it would be they clean house again, which is unfortunate. Even
Right.
though, like, I've liked some of Joe Shane's drafts the last couple of years. I've liked the draft, but some of the off-season moves, some of the players that they've let walk, like, it just all leaves a very bad impression, a bad taste in my mouth. And of course, Brian Dable's a big part of that. So ideally, I think he's fired, but I understand what you guys are saying. Like,
Yeah.
Dart seems like a hit,
Mhm.
so they're going to keep him around at least one more year. All
Right.
right, who the
Yep.
fuck is this?
That's what I'm thinking. I can't tell.
Oh, is that Brian Schottenheimer? I think that's Schottenheimer.
Oh, it is Schottenheimer. It is
Yeah.
Schottenheimer.
Yeah, that's shoddy.
No cap, not
Shoddy's like
good.
a
C tier,
melody
bro.
in
C
my
tier.
head.
You really think so?
Below Ben Johnson, I think so. Clearly an offensive coordinator who's just has a head coach position, has no idea what's going on the defensive side of the ball.
I hear you. Like, the defense has been dreadful this year, but I've really kind of liked what he's done so far. And maybe this isn't the most ideal time to do this because they've, like, kind of looked bad the past couple weeks on offense too. But I think that he's carried himself fairly well for a first time head coach. And I mean, regardless of the last 2 weeks' performances, Dak Prescott is still one of the more productive quarterbacks in the league. I like that. I can't fault him either for some of the acquisitions or some of the moves that Jerry Jones made in the offseason. And I think that is part of the unfortunate circumstance that Schottenheimer's in. So personally, I would see a B tier because I've actually been a little bit impressed with his job, but I understand C tier as well if you guys both agree there.
I think C tier because I do think he has to show a little bit more on the defensive side because I mean,
Yeah, you
like
still have to be
damn.
accountable for overall team performance, even though you are the offensive guy.
No, I
But
I
I'm
hear you
saying like,
guys 100%, but my point
yeah.
is that I'm not trying to hold him responsible for like the Michael Parsons trade. You know what I mean?
No,
Um
that no, that no.
and my point is
No,
that
that's
like
obviously not his fault.
right, right. But my point is that like he doesn't really have much to work with on the defensive side, so I don't blame him in his first year for having a really bad defense when a move like that was made. I mean, we'll see. Maybe it can get a lot better with Quinton Williams and Logan Wilson arriving, which we'll get into with the trade deadline talk. But if
Did
I
you
think
guys see the Benchwarmer brand video that I sent y'all about the wait, we can trade for good defensive players?
yeah, I
I
did,
saw you
yeah.
sent it, but I didn't see it.
Dude, that shit was so funny. So it starts off with the Cowboys are trading for Logan Wilson. Okay, this is gonna be another fucking stupid ass trade deadline. And then they're like, okay, Sauce Gardner traded to the Colts, and then they're like, wait, Sauce Gardner traded to the Colts. And then the Cowboys are like, wait, you can trade for good defensive players? And then and then it gets back to the guy who announces the transaction. He's like, Quentin Williams to the Cowboys, and they're like, what? Didn't you just trade for Logan Wilson? He was like, yeah, but we didn't know you could trade for a good defensive player, so we figured we had to get in on that before the buzzer beater.
Yep.
Yeah. And
So
so
fucking funny.
I think to that point, if the defense shows really market improvement very quickly, I'm going to be crediting Schottenheimer for a lot of that. And I know like Quinton Williams is a premier player, and so it should improve over time. But if we see a
Yeah.
really market improvement, I am definitely crediting Schottenheimer. And so that's again another reason why I'd be leaning B tier. But if you guys both have him in C, we can leave him in C and move on.
I have him C for now, but he has upside.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dan
Yep.
Campbell's up next.
I'll put him A. I have some complaints with him, so I don't want to put him all the way to the top. I think sometimes he too aggressive with his decisions. I think, and I'm not a big fan of it. Sometimes he can cost you games because of that. But I mean, he's a when we talk about leader of men, with current NFL head coaches, he's probably the first guy I think of.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so far his coordinators are doing a good job, so I credit him to that. Obviously, they're missing Ben Johnson a little bit, but I think they're doing a good enough job. And yeah, I picked him to win a Super Bowl. I have because I had trust in Campbell, but I do worry about his over aggressiveness, so that's why I don't put him in the top tier.
Yeah, I think those are fair arguments that you pose. He's a great motivator. He's one of the like fewer remaining CEO head coaches, and he's very clearly the best of the bunch there. And yeah, I really don't have many complaints outside of the situational stuff, which I do think does cost them games occasionally. Some of the situational decisions, and almost like being a helicopter parent, where you don't kind of just let the play or the game develop itself, and you have to really step in, and sometimes you fuck up,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That's
Exactly.
kind of the similar thing there. Yeah, so I like A tier for Dan Campbell. Of course, I mean A versus S. You're not arguing too much of a difference, but they're both very
Yeah.
illustrious tiers for Coast Nose Bowl.
100%.
Dan Quinn
Very
up
much
next.
so. Fire this motherfucker. You're such a fucking stupid idiot for getting Mark or Jaden Daniels' arm broken, you fucking tool. Holy shit, that is such a malpractice job as a head coach. Why is your
Pretty
starting
bad.
franchise quarterback, who is your face of the franchise, in the fucking game when you are down 31 with 4 minutes left? Holy failure. That is enough to be in the bottom tier. I do not care.
All right. Without being too hyperbolic, I definitely agree that that is a
I
terrible
think I
thing. And
agree.
regardless of what Jaden Daniels says about I want to play, you need to, of course, be the head coach and step in. But I am
Yeah.
not
Just
putting him in fired tier. I don't think he's going to get fired. I think, generally speaking, he's done a very solid job as a coach. Obviously, not flashy or anything like that, and not, he's not probably not going to be the answer long term here either. But the problem with the Commanders, and I said this going into the year, is that I think they peaked a little too early. They played excellent football last year. They made it to the NFC Championship game, and that gave them maybe too much confidence to where they didn't identify the issues with the team. And now the team is a year older, and they're the oldest team in the NFL on average by average age, and
which is kind
the
of crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
same issues plus more have persisted. And now you have on top of it, teams are starting to figure out Jaden Daniels a little more. Teams are starting to figure out the Cliff Kingsbury offense a little more with this set of weapons. You're not healthy. A lot of players are injured or have gone down with injuries or have not been available every week. And I think Jaden Daniels has regressed a little bit as well, as obviously a byproduct of all the stuff surrounding him. So I'm not putting all the blame on Dan Quinn by any means. I understand the frustration with what happened on Sunday, but I don't think he's going to get fired. And I definitely think he's certainly better than Aaron Glenn and Brian
Yeah.
Dable.
I was just about to say that. That would be my big argument for that as well. I agree.
This is Dave Canales up next.
I listen. I think we all had some faith in the Panthers going into the year, and they started off a little slow, but now they're picking it up. Kind of the Panthers team that I expected, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he's the reason for that. Um, but they did start it a little slow. Maybe that's what's costing them right now a little bit. The NFC is stacked. They're gonna have to work hard for that playoff spot. So if they get that playoff spot, I would put them in 8th tier at the end of the year. But as it stands right now, I'm probably thinking B. They are missing some talent in that team. I'll probably put him ahead of Ben Johnson. I think he's doing a better job than Ben Johnson. Um, yeah, I probably have Canales high B tier. I think not yet A tier.
Yeah, I would put him around that area. I think he's been doing very well.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with his job, especially defensively. We talked about one of your guys' criticisms with Schottenheimer is that the defense has been playing really poorly, and conversely with Carolina, the defense, especially in the last few weeks, has really stepped up, especially against the
Yeah,
run, which was like a big
yeah,
concern going into the year. So I really like that
100%.
in that regard. I like that they started 0-2, and you're like, oh fuck, I picked them in the playoffs. This is not going well, but they're 5-2 since then. And I think they've really figured something out. They've unlocked something. Bryce Young has been a lot better in recent weeks, even if not very productive, but he's at least taking care of the football a lot better. So yeah, I give a lot of credit to Dave Canales. I don't think that there's much separating Ben Johnson and he. So I think they're good
No,
right next to each other.
yeah, I think so.
Next up, D'Amico Ryans.
He's been doing a bit better in recent weeks, but
He's
still been
washed,
pretty
man.
rough here.
He's washed.
I would put him in the top of C tier right now. He's definitely trending down still overall.
Over Schottenheimer, are we sure?
Yeah, Schottenheimer looks pretty rough still.
I don't know. I might prefer
I
Schottenheimer
don't
so
know.
far.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
Over than Quinn. Over than Quinn.
Yeah.
Nah, Schottenheimer.
I do still like D'Amico Ryans, but I do think that part of the flaws within this roster and within this team is because of kind of ignoring the offensive side of the football. This defense can really keep them in games every week. I really do believe that. But if you have an offense that's completely inept, you're going to be relying on the defense to score points. And no team in the NFL is going to be successful when that is the case, despite the mantra defense wins championships. You know what? It beats a good defense, an even better offense, right? And
Yep.
not addressing the offense enough as a head coach, with similar to the Schottenheimer criticisms that we have here. But in Schottenheimer's case, it's his first year and he's under Jerry Jones, whereas I feel like D'Amico Ryans has probably a little bit more sway in that front office, and he's also in his
100%.
second year.
Yeah, it definitely feels more like D'Amico Ryan's team in Houston than it does Schottenheimer's team in Dallas.
Right. Actually, it's his third year, right?
Yeah, it's his third year.
Yeah. My mistake. Next up, Jim Harbaugh.
Good old Jimmy Harbs. I would put him right next to Danny Campbell in the A tier. He's been doing a great job ever since he got hired on there.
Vitor.
I probably agree. Below than Campbell.
Okay. I'm not quite as high on him so far this year. Not necessarily through any fault of his own, I suppose, but in large part because of how he's managed or how he's delegated responsibilities to his coordinators and to his assistants, I think has been a cause for criticism so far this year. So I'm not quite as hot, but I'm okay with A tier. I still think he's a very, very good coach, and his team has mostly played well this year.
Well,
All right. Next
I like
up,
his philosophy. That's probably my favorite thing about him.
yeah, it is a good philosophy. Yeah, it's definitely it's very Campbell-esque, which is fitting that they're next to each other.
Is that his brother next up?
Yes, John Harbaugh up next.
Um,
I have similar
Bottom of
complaints
B
for
tier.
John that I have for Campbell. Very similar complaints. Overly aggressive. And I don't know. Sometimes I look at him in the sideline. He looks a little lost. Like he's a little like confused about what's going on. And that kind of pisses me off a little bit. I don't want my head coach to look lost. That's the one guy I don't need looking lost is my head coach, and I look at Harbaugh and he often looks lost.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, he's been in the league for a while. He's had some success, obviously. So, but as I go for this year, obviously he's extremely dependent on Lamar. Yeah, obviously he's your franchise guy. He's one of the best players in the league. Period. But you gotta get your team ready every week, and there cannot be that big of a drop off between QB1 and QB2, right? And he also definitely has some part in having Cooper Rush be your QB2 going into the year. Cooper Rush has absolutely nothing to do with Lamar. So if Lamar goes down, you're going to depend on Cooper Rush. You're going to change the whole playbook for Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is not executing.
It
what
should
Lamar
be
is
Tyler
executing.
Huntley, and I
It
made
should
that
have been
complaint
Tyler.
last week.
It should have been Tyler Huntley since the beginning of the offseason.
Oh yeah,
So I do think Harbaugh has some fault in that.
big time.
Yeah, and obviously defense fell off, and obviously he has some part of that as well. So yeah, I think bottom B, I think is fine.
I'm 100% with you on the lack of preparation that he has created for this team.
100%.
It is very glaring, and I think they're still a very good team. I still think he's a good coach, but you can't be consistently getting away with something like that and being successful in the NFL. I genuinely believe that. And, now that Lamar's back, maybe it gets masked once again and they wind up, in the postseason as a wild card team, or if they, end up winning the division still. But the problem is that the issue, I think, will get masked, and we won't really be addressing that at any point until next season, maybe at about the same time when we have the same concerns,
Next up is that Jonathan Gannon?
It is, and I'll be right back. You guys continue. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So here with Jonathan Gannon, he's gonna get fired this offseason. I don't see a world where he keeps his job. They just ended a 5-game losing streak against the Dallas Cowboys. Whoop de frickin' do. I think they'll play a little bit better with Brissett for a couple weeks, and then people will realize, oh, it's just play action and Drew Petzing, which isn't that unique.
absolutely hate his offseason decisions. You like as much as Kyler's getting heat, you did not put Kyler in the best position to succeed this offseason or
Drew
in this
Petzing was
season.
the worst offensive coordinator you could have hired for Kyler Murray.
And that was known, right? Like how do we know this and how do they not know this? Like clearly they had a plan of getting rid of K1 in the first place. You know, I'm a fan
Yeah.
of Kyler. I do think he can be successful in the right scheme, but like you clearly did not put the guy in the right position to win.
The only way that you salvage Kyler Murray, which I think would still be stupid, is if you fire Jonathan Gannon this offseason, which they're going to do. He's going to get fired on Black Monday. I think he gets to the end of the season, gets fired on Black Monday. Um, and then the only way that you keep Kyler Murray is if you hire Lincoln Riley to be your new head coach. But they're not going to do that because they're going to be picking relatively high this year, and this quarterback class is fucking elite. So we're going to be seeing a new quarterback in Arizona and probably a new head coach this offseason too. So Cardinals fans, it may be brutal right now, but y'all have something to be excited for moving
Yeah,
forward.
I'll probably put Gannon fired. I think it's probably a matter of time.
Yeah, I agree.
The only argument I have against fired at this point, and I'm sure you guys touched on it, but I liked the hire when it first occurred, and I think that he's done or shown some promising things, but it's never come together to complete a picture. You know what I mean? It's been a couple of techniques that are interesting, but have never been cohesive as a unit. Um, if the team continues to play where they are now, and unfortunately that means with Jacoby Brissett, who has been playing better. I even picked the Cardinals last week because of Jacoby Brissett playing as opposed to Kyler Murray. But if they continue to win games and be competitive down the stretch, I don't know that he gets fired in that scenario. And they could just allow him to select a quarterback in this upcoming draft, because then you don't have to deal with the Kyler Murray issues that you guys were just talking about either. So I hear you guys' argument for fire, and I think that it definitely could happen, but I'm not so sure yet in week 10.
So Deadman walking.
I think so.
Okay, I think that's valid.
And given that
I'll
you guys
allow it.
say it's more likely, I
Just
will put
no,
him
no. I think
behind.
so. I think you're right because there is like that pathway of him not being fired. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
And given that you guys say it's more likely that he's fired, I will put him behind Brian Daboll. I do think he's a better coach than Brian Daboll, though, just to be clear.
I do think
Okay.
so, but I think the situation Dable finds himself in is more likely to stay than
Right.
Gannon.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Who's up
Next up,
next?
Kellen Moore.
Yep. Let's hear it.
Like, I mean, it's hard to judge him. Like,
I don't care right
I
now.
think-
You're not firing him. You're gonna put him in the C tier for the next year and a half until we know what he is. And right now, you don't know anything because he has zero talent on this roster.
I don't
This
think
team
the
is
problem. I
not
don't.
built to win football games. So
I agree with you, but I don't think talent is the thing because Aaron Glenn has no talent, but his team looks lost, unprepared whatsoever. The Saints have shown more
On
I think,
defense,
than
they
the
look
Jets.
horrible. Oh yeah, I mean, you knew what you were getting when you hired Brandon Staley as your defensive coordinator. So,
Right, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. The thing too,
the
I
defense is fucking brutal. But I don't think there's anything. I think the offensive play calling has actually been pretty solid, and I think that Spencer Rattler has executed, and Kellen Moore has shown an ability to dial up open reads for him to progress to and have good throwing lanes.
but what's the catch,
Right,
Jacob?
if
The catch is that we have no clutch ability, and there's no good game or no good what's it called? No good quarterback decisions.
My catch that I was trying to get you to was that, but Spencer Rattler got benched.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that's
to
also
me,
because you got to show Saints Nation how dog shit Tyler Shuck is, because people were asking.
so he can justify selecting a quarterback early. Is that kind of
Yeah,
your theory?
yeah.
Okay, I guess I can hear that, but man, I just hate it when a quarterback is It's not like Spencer Rattler was a world beater, but he was playing
He
decent
was playing
football,
well.
and
Yeah,
you
there was no reason to bench the
benched
guy.
him.
And Tyler Shuck looked bad against the Rams.
He
He
did
looked
look bad.
so bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Most obvious bad quarterback of all time. I'm
He
sorry, bro.
consistently made. It was so
I
funny.
know, dude.
There
I
was
said
one.
that too.
There was one drive against the
So
Rams
obvious.
where Shuck made consistently the wrong read every single time, but it still resulted in a completion. I'm like, how the fuck is this guy getting rewarded for bad reads with these completions? It was crazy. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So I do think Kellen Moore is doing a better job than Glenn. Like we talked about the lack of talent. Yeah,
yeah,
lack of talent, but I do think Moore has shown more.
yeah,
More
definitely.
than Dan Quinn.
I don't
If I
think
had
that
to
he's
choose
dead
one from
man
my team right
walking. I
now,
don't really have an issue with the
no,
coach
no,
here.
no. If I had to pick a
I
head
fire
coach from my
Brandon
team right
Staley
now,
though. I swear to God, if we go another season with they had to have hired Brandon Staley to fuel the tank and understand that it was going to negatively affect the team overall, but it would
that
still
is so
allow us to
funny,
have
bro.
potential on
That
offense.
is so
But
funny.
I swear to God, if Brandon Staley is the defensive coordinator going into next season, I will lose every bit of faith in Mickey Loomis. I already have zero faith in this guy. I will get even more negative faith in Mickey Loomis than I already have.
My goodness, bro.
I hear you.
That being said, who's this motherfucker next up? He looks kind of hideous.
Kevin O'Connell.
Man, that picture does not look good on him. Uh, he feels better this week now that he actually had a full, like, healthy O line. So I'm comfortable with saying that he's bottom of B tier.
Yeah, I think that's a nice happy spot for him. I may prefer Schottenheimer this year, but I do think Kevin O'Connell has developed at least some relative pedigree
Some trust, right?
about
Yeah, I think so.
offensive talent. And I get it, like he's been coaching multiple years rather, whereas Schottenheimer, this is his first year head coaching, and so it's not
Right.
as fair to compare the two there. But the reason I say that he's close is because of some of the decisions, not only in the offseason about the quarterback, but also his play calling in clutch situations and in short yardage situations, I think, has been really brutal this year. And their complete avoidance of running the football for like big stretch there was also alarming to me. When you don't have a good quarterback, you have Carson Wentz starting for you all those weeks. Why
And
aren't
you
you
had
helping
a
him out with the
battle
run game?
line.
Right, exactly. You got to lean on the run game a little bit more. Eventually, it's going to pop. I don't
It's a
know.
problem of his.
Yeah,
It's a problem of his.
100%. But B
Yeah,
tier is cool.
I agree. I think so.
All right, next
Also,
up. Yeah.
can we just talk about how bad Kevin Stefanski's great, like in his beers gone since he started at Cleveland?
I don't know if anyone's surprised by that.
Cleveland has done bad things to Cleveland has had the president effect on Kevin Stefanski, and
I
I'm
was going to
sorry,
say,
man, but
yeah.
you're gonna get fired.
It's like
He's gonna
fucking
get fired for sure.
Barack Obama before and after
Yeah.
Right.
in less time.
And last time before the Cleveland Browns, bro, they do that to you. Holy shit.
We're the
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
I know.
Look, he should be fired. He should have been fired last year. That was my humble opinion on that. I've really hated the play calling in
He's
Cleveland for a long
overdue.
time.
He's overdue.
Yeah, so I think that's our
Isn't
first
this
like
guy
safe
a two-time coach of the year?
once. Yeah. You
Once.
usually don't win it twice. It's very rare that they give out the award twice to someone.
Right.
All right. Next up, Duval.
Duval. Dude, I can't stand Liam Cohen after the fucking way the Jags have played the last 4 weeks. This
Right?
guy he's on thin ice with me. I'm losing my patience with the man. So, yeah, you're going to be right above Dan Quinn. That's where I put you.
I think he's done about the same job as Schottenheimer, in my opinion. The team is more competitive. I think
Schottenheimer
that.
better in my opinion.
What's that?
Schottenheimer's better, I think.
Okay, that's reasonable. The team has been definitely more competitive than last season. I think part of that is because one, last season was kind of a season from hell for them. Obviously, Doug Peterson got fired halfway through, and And the defense was pretty injured as well, and they had a really, really, really bad pass defense, terrible secondary or terrible performing secondary last year. So it was natural for them to play better, and I still think that they can win a few games down the stretch and really compete for a wild card spot here. But the most upsetting thing about his tenure so far is that Trevor Lawrence looks the exact same. He looks the exact same as last season.
I'm
He looks the
tired of
exact
talking
same as the
about
season
Trevor
before.
Lawrence.
And
I'll
for
be right back.
yeah. And for someone who is supposed to be a quarterback guru who helped Baker Mayfield get out of his
Yep.
rut and become a star in Tampa, nothing has changed with Trevor Lawrence, really. And like, number one, obviously that means the Trevor Lawrence patience is really wearing thin for me. As a Trevor Lawrence defender, it's like
Yeah.
almost non-existent at this point. But number two, it also means like, man, I think maybe all the coaching talent was Dave Canales in that quarterback room there, not Liam Cohen. So
It makes you think, right?
it does. It
Make
really
you
does.
think.
And look at
makes you think, I
how
agree.
Dave Canales has changed Bryce Young in a season and a half, or basically one full season, because
Yeah.
So I definitely look. I still think, again, they're still playing competitive football at the very least. I think part of the problem is that the Jaguars, and we'll get to it
Perfect
when we get to
placement, I
the
think.
tier list, the team tier list,
Yeah.
but I think the Jaguars play down to their opponent and play up to their opponent. Like, if they're playing a really good team, they will actually compete. If they're playing a bad team, they will make it difficult to win. It's really weird.
Yeah, I agree with you. But and also, I mean, the regression of BTJ, kind of weird. I'm not sure how they're doing that game plan wise. It took them a little too long, I think, to use more Travis Hunter.
Yeah,
think.
and then now he's injured.
Now he's injured. Yeah, when they actually realize, oh, this guy is actually a really good receiver. Well, guess what? He's hurt now. And obviously, the injury is not his fault. That's not what I'm trying to say. But he should have been a major part of the game plan. Week one.
Yeah.
So, but one compliment I will say to Liam Cohen is that Travis Etienne seems to be back, in his career. Which is funny because he didn't really love running in Tampa. So.
Well, maybe he's the reason Bucky Irving broke out, though. Maybe we're just looking at the wrong
That is
position
true.
group. You know what I
That
mean?
is true.
I don't
That
know.
is true.
Who
That is
knows?
true.
All right. But moving on, we got Kyle Shanahan up next. I don't think there's much debate here, especially with the
No,
job
he's
he's done
definitely
this
top.
season.
He's 100% top.
Yeah. I think, me personally, of course, the season will change as we go down the stretch, but I think he should be the front runner for Coach of the Year. He's never won it before, surprisingly. And I think
I agree.
this year, with all the
agree.
injuries, with all the adversity, I think this is the time. I really don't believe.
Quarterback
Yeah.
controversy left and right. People keep talking about it, and your whole team is fucking injured. Offense, defense. Fortunately, CMC's healthy, so he's abusing that. But he knows he knows that game. Like, he knows where to explore, what areas to explore, I should say.
Yeah.
And that may seem like an easy thing, but it's really not, because the other team also knows what you want to do, and yet he finds ways to get what he wants.
Right.
So I'm a big fan of Shanahan. Shanahan is kind of what I wanted McDaniel to be. Have a good offensive mind, but also adapt really well, get your guys ready. So Shanahan is very complete. He's a leader of men. He's offensively very smart. Maybe the one knock on him is maybe the just special teams. Like, you've been head coach for this long, and you
Avoiding
can't
special
figure
teams.
out special team. You
I
can't
actually
figure that out.
I actually have two issues. One is the special teams thing. Since Robbie Gould left, it's kind of been a disaster. Up until now,
Yep.
like after the first couple weeks, with Jake Moody being there in the first week and then getting cut, and then a couple of hiccups with punt returns and whatnot, I want to say the special teams has gotten a lot better since then. Obviously, we need to put together a full season to get it done. Like Eddie Pinheiro, I mean, he's perfect so far on field goals, and supposedly a leg that can't kick 50 yards, but he's perfect from 50 plus, and he's kicked like 5 or 6 of them already. So
Right.
I think yes, the special teams has really improved. It just took a couple weeks to get going, and I think the change of kicker definitely helped.
Right.
But my other complaint in years past was and it continues this year as well, and it's tied directly to Jake Moody, is that just committing to a player for way too long before like their time was up a long time ago, and we still have them around for some reason. There have been multiple instances where that's happened in this regime, where it's just a player that's not good. He's never contributing. He's taken up a roster spot, and for some reason, he's still on the field. He's still taking meaningful snaps away from other better players, in my opinion. And that would be one thing I'd like to clean up. Yeah, basically, yeah. The taste we have like 12 Taysom Hills on this team, but those would be my two issues. I've been critical of his play calling in years past. I think this year he has done so much better. And maybe it's because of the limited supporting cast for all his weapons. He has to dial something up that's better. But it's been a lot better this year, let me tell you. I don't know if it's just because it's Mac Jones and he's more comfortable calling plays for Mac Jones. I have no clue what it is, but it's really weird. But I'll take it.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, we probably spent too much
God,
time.
I hate
He's
Pizza
obviously
Hut.
last year.
What do you have there?
Pizza.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You got a $9 craving box from Taco Bell, and now you have a fucking pizza?
They forgot my 2-liter, so he has to go get my 2-liter and come back.
You shouldn't have accepted the pizza. You got to be like the fucking asshole in the Krusty Krab pizza episode. Where's my drink?
No, I still tipped him $10.
Oh wow. Well, that's generous. Well, hey, he's at least coming back. It's not like sorry.
Right.
So that's fair.
Yeah, they put it in this Christmas box for some reason. It's just pizzas in here.
That is awfully early for Christmas, but I'm in. All right. Well, while you were gone, we put Kyle Shanahan in S. That's pretty much all we've done. We did a lot of talking about him because I wanted to give him some flowers this year.
Fair enough.
Next up is Matt LaFleur.
C tier. He sucks.
Oh, wow! I was not expecting
Really?
that
Not
answer.
a Matt LaFleur guy.
Wow, Vitor, are you gonna counterbalance this harsh opinion or hot take?
I have been seeing a lot of Packers fans on his ass. Listen, as a Dolphins fan, I'm taking him for sure. Fuck, you know. So
Hey man, he knows how to write a script for the first couple drives, and then everything after that is pretty fucking brutal.
I think he's an excellent script writer. He's a bad improviser, 100%. I think that's a great way to sum up his head coaching tenure with the Packers.
Oh yeah.
but to answer your question, this year, that game against the Browns and this game against the Panthers were brutal. I think, and with the roster you have a fucking loaded ass roster. I expected a little more. And obviously he has a part of giving the contract to Jordan Love, you know, and I promise you guys, I'm not defending Tua when I say this, but people love giving Miami shit for giving that contract to Tua. I don't see nobody saying shit about Arizona giving a contract to K1, or the Packers giving the contract to Love, or the Jaguars giving the contract to
Well, that's also
Lawrence.
because nobody ever says anything good about the K1 thing, and everyone else still thinks that Jordan Love is a good quarterback.
Right.
He's
We
not.
were
He's not.
so
He's
so
really
early
not.
to the party. Like the party should be named after us, the Jordan Love haters party, because we all three of us were like, man, I just don't know
Well,
about the Packers this year. Jordan Love kind of stinks.
I was also the very first person to be a part of the Jordan Love #1 fan club.
You were, but you saw quickly, and you hopped on the train with us. And now people are starting to
Yeah.
hop on the train and like, look, welcome aboard. We just wish you would listen to us before, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But,
have good opinions. Trust us.
Yeah, I think he's I think he's a little bit better than Kevin O'Connell, in my opinion.
No, I can't do that.
Vitor.
I can't do
Okay.
that.
All right. So,
I
do we
can't do
want
that.
top of C or bottom of B?
I'm okay with bottom of B.
Okay.
Sure.
Next up,
Why
Mike
does this
McDonald.
next person look like? Never mind.
All right.
Mike McDonald.
Yep. Mike McDonald.
Dude looks so
This
much
year,
like just
this year, I think he has to be bottom of S or top of A. He's doing such a phenomenal job. with
I don't.
Seattle.
I would agree, bottom of S tier.
Yeah.
But I would also say that his headshot has to be the most NPC looking mother trucker of all time.
He looks like an NPC.
You think more NPC than Sean McDermott?
Yeah, I do.
Holy
Okay.
shit, Sean McDermott, dog.
Jonathan Gannon.
Sean
No, Jonathan
McDermott looks
Gannon.
like the
Jonathan Gannon is the most NPC one. Come on. Come
yeah.
on.
Nah, Jonathan Gannon definitely looks like his dialogue is.
Nah, dude, it's
What are you
definitely
doing in
fucking
my
Pete Carroll.
house?
But Pete Carroll looks like a
His
like
only
an old
his
man.
only dialogue line is just "What are you doing in my house?"
It's true.
It's just
Pete
Jonathan
Carroll looks
Gannon
AI
right there.
generated in this picture.
Pete Carroll not only does he look AI
Yeah,
generated,
he does. That's an
but
AI generated
but
portrait.
he also
of Pete
looks
Carroll.
like an old man who's doing an advertisement for a fucking like
Cialis.
medicine ad.
Cialis commercial.
like- yes, bro. Look at him. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? It's definitely Pete Carroll, dog. Look at him.
Oh, I could totally see him in a Cialis commercial now. That's hilarious that you brought that up.
Fuck, for sure, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Mike McDonald. He has coached his absolute ass off. I think, outside of Kyle Shanahan, I think it's him and Shane Steichen for Coach of the Year as well. Like, those should be your top three, I think. Nice. Got that bug. But yeah, so he coached his ass off, even with in light of all the injuries that have been going on in the secondary in particular, they're still balling the fuck out. So, yeah, a huge credit to him for coaching this team up.
I agree.
Ooh, already fired.
Oh, yeah. Now that Chris Greer's gone, he has, like, no protection, probably.
Well, he has been given the rest of the year, apparently, and so here's my theory.
Which is such a funny thing to do. You're like, hey guys, we're done. We're done.
Yeah. So but here's my theory. Okay, I think that he's been given the rest of the year, right? So,
Wait,
and now
what are you
he's
laughing at, Anthony?
Don't worry about it.
he
Just
just
continue.
fuck you, Anthony, man. You're
What?
laughing at my demise, man.
No.
You're laughing at my demise.
No,
Yes,
no.
you are.
Okay,
yes,
let me
you
clarify
are.
now. Let me clarify now
Here it
because it's
comes.
become a big thing. I was laughing at Jacob for being so indistinguished that he didn't get a cup for his fucking mug root beer. It was just funny. I was not expecting him to drink straight out of it.
I live on my own.
I
Who
know.
cares?
Even if I did, I would
so
still get a cup with ice or something.
It's cold.
So real, so real.
Anyway, that's what I was laughing at. I wasn't laughing at you, Vitor.
I believe you, man. I believe you. But anyway, as I was saying, so I think that he's been given the rest of the year so he, keep playing like ass and get a high pick. But also, in my idea, McDaniel's gonna keep starting Tua because he sees Tua as the best option to win games, and he wants to win games to maybe have a shot at being head coach next year. Okay, beautiful. I think the moment Stephen Ross tells him, "You're gonna be our head coach next year," he's benching Tua and playing Quinn Ewers. Like I wholeheartedly believe that.
So you think it's a bargaining chip?
I definitely think so.
Interesting.
I think the moment McDaniel goes, okay, listen, if you want to see what Quinn Ewers has, you're gonna have to give me next year, kind of thing.
Is Mike McDaniel holding Stephen Ross hostage?
Stephen Ross has been held hostage by Chris Greer over a decade, so I wouldn't be surprised. Stephen Ross, I wouldn't be surprised. But I will say, if I am in McDaniel's shoes, I'm kind of doing the same thing. Like, listen, if you want to see what you have in Quinn Ewers, whether like maybe he has starting potential or not, like if he's gonna be your backup next year or whatever, you're gonna have to give me next year because I haven't been given like an actual chance to draft my guy. Like I've been just thrown in this position to fix Tua. I made him look good, but now his brain is melted, and I'm gonna lose my job because of it. Obviously, he could have been doing a better job.
The obvious solution to this problem, though, is that he just gets fired and the next coach starts Ewers anyway. That's not exactly a bargaining chip, I don't think.
You're right, but wouldn't Miami want to keep losing and wanna pick. Like maybe Miami's like, okay, let's not pull an Antonio Pierce here and just win some random games and not you know what I mean.
I get it, but I
And Kelly
also
was with the Raiders, right? So maybe he's seen that up close.
I don't know. We'll see. I honestly don't have much else to comment about the Dolphins
Right.
situation because I feel like we talked about it so much this season already
Yeah, I'm kind of
because
sick of it.
it's just been such a
I am sick
dumpster
of it.
fire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I imagine you guys. If I'm sick of it, I imagine you guys.
All
But
good.
point is,
So I have a take. I have
yeah.
a take for this next one coming up.
Okay.
And that is the Mike Tomlin. If he was a Pokemon NPC, he would
Oh my
be the
god.
8th gym leader. Because, and when I say he would be the 8th gym leader, he was at one point like the Elite Four. You know, one of the final guys that you fought really early on in his career, and then he was first generation, and then he got knocked off, and now he's just the 8th gym leader, and he has this big ass ego to him because he thinks he's better than all the other gym leaders, and he thinks that I was an Elite Four one day. I was one of like remember when we had the fucking steel curtain back. I know that wasn't even fucking him, but he was like, remember when we had
Chuck
Jerome
Noll.
Bettis? Yeah, remember when we had Jerome Bettis the bus, and we had that fucking rapist for quarterback.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit, man. God.
That's the ego that he has, but he's really just the fucking 8th gym leader, and he's insignificant as fuck. And that's
Okay.
fucking Mike Tomlin.
All right. Well, you two have known my take about Mike Tomlin for a long time. I've always thought he has been
I'm right there with you.
a leader of individuals and not a team. And despite
Yep.
everybody always saying that he's one of the best in the NFL, I've always said that he is actually not one of the best in the NFL and a lot closer to the middle of the pack, but has such great PR, we'll put it. I really don't care
Yeah.
for the job that he's
He's really
doing,
bad.
even though the team is winning and the defense has been bad for most of the year. Even the offense hasn't been very great for most of the year. You know, they just situationally are winning football games in certain points of the season. Like that's kind of just
They're just
how I
not
would
turning
put
the
it.
ball over because Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
That's all they're doing.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think mostly like they're just kind of like walking through each game. You know, they're not sleepwalking. They're not asleep at the wheel, obviously, but they are not convincing anybody that they're a great team yet.
No.
Valid. I agree.
So where do we want Tomlin here?
Top of C tier.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Next up, Mike
Mikey
Vrabel.
Vrabel, top of A tier, boy.
I don't know about top of A yet. I could hear an argument
can't-
for bottom A. I would
think
argue
the
top of
Patriots are the
B.
best team in football. I said it. I said it.
Dude, I think I'm more impressed with what Canales is doing than Variable.
I think they're pretty equal to me. Canales has an inferior roster, so that helps his case, right?
His defense was shit last year.
Yeah. But Vrabel also, like, it's a raw prospect in Drake May in year 2. I think their offseason was particularly excellent, whereas the Panthers, I was like, whatever on the offseason. I was mainly buying into them progressing from last season, whereas the Patriots, the amount of acquisitions they made, some of the moves are just more indicative of like this team knows that they're competitive and they can win, and this is backing these actions. So I think they're very like neck and neck for me. I could very interchangeable here. The job that they're doing. My big hang up with Vrabel right now is still the offense can come off very inconsistent, and it's not Drake May because the passing game has mostly been excellent from him, especially in the last month and a half. But that run game needs to get going, or they're not going to win a playoff game. Plain and simple. The run game
Drake
needs
May
to
is
get
my
going.
MVP.
Yeah, he's top 3 right now for sure, I think.
Your MVP?
Yeah, he's my MVP. Right in the chest, you know.
Okay.
Speaking of MVPs and teams that will never have an MVP, the Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Sirianni. Hooey, man. talk about a coach who is carried by his players.
Who is carried by his chief of security, who I absolutely despise. I hate that guy so much. I can't believe that he gets to be like a part of the team and part of the swagger of the team and everything.
Why are you hating on Big Dom?
I fucking hate Big Dom so much.
Bro, but what he did for Cam Scottaboo was so lit.
I don't care about the one act of kindness he did to one player. I don't care. He's a dick. He acts all big and strong and high and mighty, and he's a big guy, don't get me wrong. But he acts he
He
talks
said, I would not personally say this to his face.
he acts so much like he's that shit when he's on the field, and he's just not. You're a fucking head of security, dude. Get the fuck off the field. God, it's so annoying. I can't stand it. I'm sorry.
You're the guy who people make fun of for being a fake police officer.
Yeah. But maybe that's mostly just the brand of the Eagles that they are. I wish all of them could just get the fuck off the field because they all just annoy me so much.
Honestly,
And that starts, of course, with
That's
Nick
just
Sirianni.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with the Phillies. The Phillies are so insufferable, dude.
I am not as passionately hateful of the Phillies as I am the Eagles, surprisingly. But yeah, I mean, look, he's probably around Tomlin, right? I guess he could be lower. He could probably be lower than Liam Cohen, maybe somewhere around there. Doesn't really matter. He's an amorphous.
You know who I
blob in
can't
the
stand? The
C-tier.
Flyers. Fuck the Flyers, bro.
The
Fuck them
Flyers,
just for their
the
name.
Flyers, bro. The Flyers
name
don't harm
sucks.
anyone.
I'm a Penguins fan, that's why.
Okay, sure.
There's only one good team in Pennsylvania, and we know who they are.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Pete Carroll, borderline fire, dude. You are doing your
Yeah,
best
there's-
to not have a job next year as a
I
as a
think
head
it's time to
coaching
call it.
legend.
I think it's time to call you.
Also, third round pick for Gino. How's that holding up, buddy? How is that holding up?
It's kind of
Not
fascinating.
good.
It's kind of fascinating how quickly things have soured in Vegas, and not just from a head coaching standpoint, but just from a team standpoint. But I do think it starts with the head coaching. I just don't know that their priority was set straight in the offseason. I feel like they really thought that they had a competitive football team that was going to win more than they lost this year, and that's just not the case. You can look at this roster and just know that that's not the case. So yeah, I think he's probably dead man. I definitely prefer him over everyone else.
Well,
in
Christian
this tier.
Wilkins is out for the year too, isn't he?
They cut him. He's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
Oh, but he had a season-ending injury before they cut him, right?
No,
No.
No?
he had a season-ending injury last year.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm misremembering. My
They
bad.
just cut him because they weren't going to play him, basically.
Damn.
They weren't gonna play him, and he was being freaky apparently or something. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know about that, but Raheem Morris up next.
Yeah, he's definitely really bad. In that D tier somewhere.
I thoroughly dislike what Raheem Morris is doing.
Yeah, me too. The problem
Remember-
is
Remember what I said? What about? Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Remember what I said about Harbaugh looking lost?
Hmm.
Now multiply that by 100. That's Raheem
Yeah,
Morris, bro.
that's a great point.
Pisses me off so much. I can't not look at Raheem Morris, and I can't stand. I don't know how Falcons fans do it. He's worse than McDaniel in that aspect. On God, he gives me no trust that he can lead a football team or like plan it. Like, no trust whatsoever.
He looks so
Not a fan.
uninterested too. He's not a passionate coach at all.
No, I'm not a fan. Not a fan
Yeah.
whatsoever.
I definitely prefer some of the guys. No, not some of them. Two of them. No, I guess that's some. Two of them in the Dead Men Walking. Ironically, the bookends in this tier. But I don't think he gets
Not Red
fired
Dead,
this offseason.
Yeah, he's not fired, but I'd rather have all of those guys, like, unironically. They're,
Yeah.
just
Can we
attitude
create a new
issue.
tier? Can we create a new tier under fired for T for terrorism?
No.
That's Raheem Morris?
I'm sorry. No.
No,
We can
we
can create a new tier if we feel like he doesn't really belong to any tier. We can create one, but not terrorism.
Okay, fine. The Bill Burr tier.
So for Raheem Morris, I kind of knew when I saw him get shut down by the Panthers, just done a hold, and then he went to the middle of the field and started smiling with his division rivals after that performance, like dabbing him up and laughing. I knew it right there, bro. Like, you're clearly not in it to win football games. You're clearly doing it as a profession at that point.
Bro, you see that and you're like, oh, okay, this is just a hobby for that guy.
Yeah, no, like, dude, like, you're having a giggle at this shit, bro. Like, your fans right now at home, fucking crying over this shit, bro. What the fuck are you laughing for? What the fuck is so funny? I could not stand that. I don't know how Falcons fans go after the 28-3. They lose the Super Bowl, and now they're in this situation with Raheem Morris, who clearly does not give a fuck. He does not want to fix the franchise. I would have been pissed off. Honestly, I'd rather have Mike McDaniel than Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris pisses me off. Plain and simple.
Fair enough. Next up, we've got Bill Burr himself, Sean McDermott.
Oh, speaking of Bill Burr, used to think you were funny. You're a sellout, dude. Never come back, bro.
What?
What?
What happened?
Dude sold out. Dude, he sold out to do a show in the Holy Land.
Dude, like, there were like 100 comedians that sold out to do that show. I'm not that peeved by it. I don't really care. Get your paycheck.
You know
whatever.
who didn't? Shane Gillis.
Oh, that's great for Shane. That's great for Shane. My point is, I just don't really care. If you care, that's fine. But actually, Sean McDermott is more of a Ron Howard than a Bill Burr. Let me give you guys a picture of Ron Howard. He's a film director.
Is that Howard the Duck?
No. He was an actor and a director.
Howard the Duck fits too.
Ron Howard, there you go.
I see it.
Yeah. Man, he's kind of aged a little bit over the last couple of years.
I was going to say, he looks like Unk there. But
yeah. But anyway, I think he's more of a Ron Howard. But Cameron Johnston, the new punter for the Bills, is Bill Burr. Let me pull up Cameron Johnston real quick. That's Bill Burr.
Literally Bill Burr.
Holy shit.
But yeah. Sean McDermott, I'm a very known critic of Sean McDermott. The only thing is that, like, he has maybe the safest job in the world as long as the Bills are winning. So I think he belongs definitely in C tier, probably around the Dan Quinn spot here. But obviously he's not
1,000% a Josh Allen merchant.
If he didn't get fired last year for the stuff that he was saying in the locker room, he's never getting fired as long as this team's winning.
No.
Plain and simple.
I have, like, maybe this is me being biased as a Dolphins fan. I'm trying not to be, swear to God. But when I see Bills games, he has, like, this look in his face. I don't know if it's not lack of interest. It's definitely not lack of interest, but, like, it's smug. Like, it's not. It's like looking down in a competition. I don't know. I have a problem with the way he performs himself, or how he conducts himself in the sidelines. Maybe he's snob or something. I'm not sure.
So you're at like these are like the two ends of the spectrum for you for annoying coaches. You got Sean McDermott, who's smug, and then Raheem Morris, who's dispassionate.
It's not about passion. It's not about like, it's just maybe just a personality issue. It's not about the game itself. Like, if I was a player seeing McDermott, I don't know if I would want to play for that guy. Is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, I don't know how he's building. I don't know how he's in the film room and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, clearly
my constant issue with the Buffalo Bills is that they continue to have the top 5 offense that they continue to have. And they continue to fire offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator, and yet they still continue to be the exact same team, and yet they don't think to change the head coach. They don't think to change the head coach.
It reminds me, it just, like, the biggest reason why Brian Flores was fired in Miami, it wasn't all just because of all the controversy and shit. It's because he just couldn't put an offense together. So it's kind of like that, except McDermott has Josh Allen, and he has a much better team, so he actually wins games. He wins playoff games.
Right.
But he kind of has the same issues as Brian Flores, I think. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. Only retort to what Jacob said, I mostly agree, is that the Bills haven't really had very good offensive coordinators either, especially right now with Joe Brady. I really think he's just like, here, Josh Allen, go make a play. Here, James Cook, go make a play.
No, I don't disagree with that. I do think that those offensive coordinators have been bad. I just think it's a little bit shitty. The thing that has been good about the Bills is the offense, and yet we keep firing the offensive guy and not firing the guy who has continued to put out a mediocre defense that has kept them out of Super Bowls.
That's fair. I definitely think the
And
defense
he's
hasn't
supposed
been
to
the
be
same
defensive guy.
since Frazier left. 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that team was carried by Leslie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is our Sean McDermott talk. We got 5 more here. We got Sean McVay, and I think we all agree probably.
We got Sean McVay, and then we can follow up Sean McDermott and Sean McVay with Sean Payton.
Yeah, that's very
Shit,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, Sean Payton. Real quick, it's very fascinating that there are 3 NFC West head coaches in the S tier, but they all definitely belong, especially this season.
Oh, yeah.
It's been the best coach division for a while now.
Yeah, you could make the argument. Sean Payton up next.
Um,
Bountygate 2.0.
I can't stand anything. Anything Denver has been so rough, but I think he
Well,
has been
yeah.
coaching well. The play calling has been good. It's just that his quarterback is so mediocre, dude. And so he can only have his good play calls
called
go
for Bo
into
Nix.
effect
His
every
his
now
whole,
and then.
His whole like career or his
This
whole
offense is
tenure
being
in
held
Denver
back by
is-
Bo Nix.
But yeah, but he wanted his guy. That's on
Mm-hmm.
Sean Payton. Like I'm not gonna give him the
I
benefit.
mean,
of
it was
doubt.
the
He
only guy
wanted Bo Nix.
left at that point.
No. He
in the
wanted
draft.
the guy. Like he was pretty vocal.
No,
about it.
that was the story going into the draft. Before the draft occurred,
gonna
was that
draft
it
him.
was Bo Nix
Yeah.
was who he wanted. Yeah.
No matter what, yeah, that's kind of.
Well, that's
what
crazy,
it
man.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like.
Bo Nix went before Spencer Rattler, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I think he is basically right where John Harbaugh is. I think they have a similar pedigree of historical success
I prefer Harbaugh.
with certain teams. And they're both like, you're not totally bought into them anymore, but they're still capable head
I like
coaches
that.
who can turn in good teams. I think they're very similar
Yeah.
in that regard.
But I prefer Harbaugh, 1000%.
Shane Steichen, is he gonna be thrown up in the A? I think we have to
tier.
put him in A tier for the bell curve. We have to have him in A tier
Yeah.
for the bell curve.
I think firmly A tier this year. The turnaround with
Above
Daniel
Harbaugh.
Jones, but also Shane Steichen obviously.
Actually, I would put him
offensive
top of A tier, definitely.
guy.
I prefer Campbell. I'll give Campbell the
Yeah,
benefit of the doubt
I
for
think
the
he's good in the
longer-
middle. He's good in between Campbell and Harbaugh. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He deserves so much credit, not just for how Daniel Jones has played and how this offense have played, but for just cultivating talent on this team. And, we were borderline like hot seat for him at the end of last season with how the team was playing with Anthony Richardson and the whole benching situation going on. I remember that was like a thing that we really debated last season. But the way that things have turned around and just staying true to this roster and believing in this roster. I mean, look at this defense, man. This defense is balling, and they have so much depth at pretty much every position. Like, they have like 8 or 9 pass rushers that can play.
I low-key
You
feel
know?
like Flacco would be an MVP candidate on the Colts.
Wasn't he on the Colts last season? Didn't that happen?
Jacob, you can't be that high on Flacco, man. Daniel Jones is doing a good job, man. Come on.
Dude, Flacco's been balling out. What can I say?
That literally
Yeah.
happened last season.
I thought he was on the Browns.
He was on the Browns 2 years ago.
Yeah, he went to the Browns and he came back to the Browns.
Joe Flacco
Oh,
Colts.
shit.
Oh my god, that looks so
That
funny,
literally happened last season, and they were a game from the wild card or from the division, actually.
Yeah, see, he fucking balled out. I don't want to hear it.
He did not.
Fuck you guys.
That was easily his
You said
worst
MVP candidate.
season
You
since
said
coming back
MVP
from coming
candidate.
out of retirement. But this is really funny that you brought that up when that literally happened.
Said it so confidently too.
Hey,
Yeah,
the
dude,
writing was
fuck
on the
Joe
wall, man. The
Flacco.
writing was on the wall.
Anyway, we have 2 more. Todd Bowles is number 1.
I would put him right above Kevin O'Connell.
Okay,
That's too low for him, I think.
I
No,
could
it's
hear.
not.
He's
They've
not
been
lower.
playing pretty
He's
rough
not lower
lately.
than Sean Payton, man. He's not
So
lower than Sean Payton.
my issue is I have been pretty critical of Todd Bowles in the past but I think this year he's done a pretty exceptional job, especially given the injuries on offense and like the
Mhm.
exodus. You lose Dave Canales 2 years ago, you lose Liam Cohen this year or last season.
He knows how to build the staff, man.
Maintaining talent and maintaining a staff that is really solid, I think, is an underrated aspect of Todd Bowles, and so I definitely think he's firmly in B. I might side with Vitor at this moment because of how he's done this year, like
He's
right
definitely
above
better than
Harbaugh.
Sean Payton, bro. He's over Harbaugh. I'll probably even put him above Ben Johnson, man. Right, maybe right below Dave Canales if you compare the roster.
I think that's yeah.
Honestly, I feel like Ben
Damn.
Johnson's a little high. I feel like we need to put Ben Johnson lower. The Bears haven't been playing that good of football.
Dude, I mean, they're playing for the division still. I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, I hear you. Like they're being a bit
Yeah,
fortunate.
and we're also like 50-50. They should have fucking lost last week. Let's be real. They should have fucking lost to the
Why?
Bengals. That was. What do
Well,
you
they had that
mean,
game. What?
why?
They had that game.
They
They literally had 13 seconds left and got a 60-yard touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay. Also consider like 5 minutes before that happened in the game, not 5 minutes, like
they were
2 minutes.
They were up.
They were
Like
up,
two
and they
possessions.
would have gone up another possession with that pick six whatever thing that was called back. They
Yeah.
would have won that game, not even close, if
Yeah,
that play
they had
stood.
that game. I think that was more about player execution.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has to have his guys ready and tell his guys, like, it's not over.
Player
Like, so play the
execution
game.
and literally getting like kind of fucked by having that
Okay, but
defensive score come back.
it came down that much to the wire against a team that just got
But
beat by the
we
Jets.
knew it was going to be a shootout, though. And the Bengals Jets game was also a shootout. Like, yeah, they lost, but they lost because the defense is dog shit, and they were dog shit again. Like, the Bears put up nearly 50. I expect them to at this point against that defense. I really didn't have an issue with them. Like, we talked about it last week. I picked the Bengals on the show. I switched to the Bears before the game, and we said it. It was going to be a shootout. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm just not sold on the Bears.
No,
I think they could
that's
lose
fine.
to the Giants this week.
They very well could.
They could.
Zach Taylor, final coach on here.
Fired.
Fired.
It has to be, right?
Enough.
No excuse.
Enough.
Yeah. It's about time, frankly.
Honestly, he might stay because Burrow got hurt and yada yada yada. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
excuse. And then now Flacco is balling out. Yeah,
Yeah.
he might have an excuse there, but enough's enough. I think. But the problem is, like, the front office is so horrible as well, and the ownership is so horrible. Like, he might just have a safe job, and we don't even know it because of how bad the rest of the front office is. I don't know. But anyway, that's our tier list for head coaches. I think we did a pretty good job. Maybe
think
a
so.
couple of nitpicks individually, but I really
He kind
think,
of looks like Doofenshmirtz Tower.
yeah, you're kind of right. I kind of see it. Yeah, that's funny.
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
I think the NFL kind of has a mediocre head coaches problem, or maybe we're just lower on a lot of head coaches. But like this amount in C tier and
I
this
just think
amount
it's a
that,
hard
like,
fucking job, man.
it is a tough job, and that's why I did the math. I went out and wrote down it based on my opinion, because we obviously just did this. So this is based on my opinion, and then I have questionable games on the side here that I wrote down. But I did the better coach win for every week of this season so far. Obviously we're through 9 weeks. You guys know what the record is for if the better coach won?
This
better-
week,
How many
probably
games
very
is
low.
there
There was a lot of
total?
upsets. There
So
was a
How
lot
many
of
this
games
week-
is there total?
This week was the worst week for sure. I will give you that.
Probably a
The
lot of
total
upsets,
amount
yeah, a
of
lot of
games
upsets.
is 143. Of course, there was one tie.
I would say
I'm
the
sorry.
better coach won.
145.
Okay,
135,
I'm gonna say
135.
The better coach. The better coach.
The better
won
coach won.
80.
The better coach is 90 and 55.
I'll
Okay.
say 80, 85, something like that. Wins.
It was 135. That's my mistake. So subtract 10 if you want.
Okay,
But
75,
the total amount of games that the better head coach
85
won.
to 50.
Okay. Again, it will be a negligible difference because obviously this isn't exactly how I would rank the coaches on this tier list. But my record for if the coach won, the better coach has won 102 times this year. and only
Wow.
lost 32 times, and then one tie, of
That's a
course.
that's a lot.
You want to know how much coaching matters? That's how much it matters. 102 wins. And there could be more based on our tier list. I can do this again if you guys want based on this tier list. But yeah,
Purely based on the tier
102
list, yeah.
head coach wins. And you're right, week 9 was the worst week. The better coach only won 8
A
times
lot
out
of
of 14
yeah,
games.
a lot of upsets, yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that was a fun little exercise. And that was a fun tier list as well.
It was.
Luckily,
Kind of overdue, maybe.
yeah. Luckily, we talked a lot about the teams as well. Obviously, when you go through head coaches, you talk about the state of the team, right? So I
Yeah.
feel like our tier list for the teams this week, our power rankings is going to be very much more quick than it has in the past couple of weeks. And of course, if there are any
Valid.
like real pressing issues that you want to bring up for any team, we can do that. Teams that were on bye last week, I want to just put them in the same spots that they were. We have the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets, who were in our F tier. So Cleveland, New York. And then we have Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. Tampa was in the top of B, and then Philly was in the bottom of A. This week, our tiers are named, and I want to put a specific emphasis on our S tier this week.
Yeah.
Superheroes, supervillains, super cursed. Super Bowl. Our S tier almost always, when we place them, has almost always lost the next week. It's fascinating how that's worked. And it happened again. The Colts lost and kind of got dominated by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then the Detroit Lions also lost. They were always consistently one score behind the Minnesota Vikings. So, yeah, tough one for our S tier last week again, but it's okay.
No kidding.
Then, of course, our A tier is Arrived. Our B tier, the Bourgeoisie. Our C tier, Can't Be Bothered. It was Can't Decide last week, and now we Can't Be Bothered. And then D tier, Dead Men Walking. And then last week, our F tier was Football Is Not Real. And now it's Football Is So Fun, right?
I know exactly who's going there.
Yeah, you want to
Go
just
ahead and throw the Saints and Dolphins with
fill out our F tier?
Yeah.
Dolphins are definitely better. They lost to the Browns a couple weeks ago. The Saints are up there. The Titans are still last. I mean, that's probably...
Oh, no, the Saints are too high. No, the Saints need to be lower.
Okay. Yeah, we did have the Browns ahead last week as well. And then the Raiders as well. We had in the F tier last week. They definitely... I mean, they played better this week against the Jaguars, but they still lost. So I don't know what we want to really do with that about that. Probably still F tier. Where were they last week?
Yeah, I would say probably above the Browns.
They were just above the Saints last week. We can put them above the Browns, though, if you want. That's fine. All right. How about the other end of the spectrum here? Are we confident in an S tier for both conferences?
I'm not really confident in any team right now, honestly.
I have my pick for the S tier for both conferences.
I'll probably say,
I would say Colts are still S tier.
yeah, I kind of want to stay with Colts.
can't
Seattle
do
for
that.
sure. I definitely want Seattle there.
Seattle is definitely overtaking the Lions for me for the NFC team right now. They are rolling. They are just dealing every week. They feel unstoppable on both sides of the ball. And then my S tier, man, I understand the Patriots and they did win.
Bills are Patriots.
But it's the Bills this week. You know, for Jacob and I, the Chiefs were the third best team in our power rankings last week. The Bills were fifth. And we said that was going to be like the headliner matchup, of course, going into that week. And the Bills were the better team. So I genuinely think that it should be the Seahawks and Bills in our S tier this week.
The league genuinely rigged the James Cook line. You can't convince me otherwise. Why else are you showing me a Rico Dowdle touchdown on the James in the middle when they should have been showing me the James Cook highlight? You're showing me a Rico Dowdle touchdown? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I was wondering the same exact thing when it happened. I'm like, because you said like, man, are they just like rigging this call or whatever you said? I'm like, well, let me look at the replay, and I couldn't see the fucking replay because they showed a fucking replay of a touchdown from a different game. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and then the one time they showed a replay, they were like, you can see his knee clearly down here, and it does not show the knee down at all.
Jim Nance said that. I'm like, what? You can't see his knee at all. There's a player obscuring it. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Weird.
League rigging for sure on that one. And then I thought Josh Allen was short on the next play, too. and they gave it to him on that one. So definitively a little bit suspicious.
I think Josh Allen got it, but I get it. I get your concerns there. Obviously,
Why
he lost
review
a lot of
one
money.
but not review the other? If
No.
both were called short, why review
They're
one but not
supposed
the
to
other?
both be reviewed, right?
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, I think
I
that's
digress.
I think that's our S tier. I think we all kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we want to go from here?
And then let's go ahead and, since we mentioned them already, let's go ahead and throw the Patriots and Colts in A tier. They are the two other best teams in the AFC. I think I would pick both of them over the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
I think,
and I think the Chiefs are probably the fourth team in the AFC.
Anywhere.
I think people are. Go ahead, Vitor. Repeat.
I was saying, I think Chiefs should be ahead of the Patriots. I would go Colts, Chiefs, Patriots.
Why?
That's how I would do it.
Patriots have way more momentum. Chiefs coming off a dominant loss.
The Patriots have played absolutely nobody. They beat Buffalo once, and that's it. If the Chiefs play the Patriots in New England,
absolutely
or in Kansas,
nobody.
I'm
They
picking
beat
the Chiefs to win.
the best team in their conference.
Listen,
I think that's really flawed logic to have.
I'm not falling for that one. Look at the other teams they played. It doesn't really impress me. Drake
okay, but we're
me.
not predicting. We're not predicting. We're basing it off of what they've shown.
I'm telling you right now. If the Chiefs play the Patriots anywhere, I'm picking the Chiefs.
That's predicting, though. We have to go based off of what they have done. What they have done is better than what the Chiefs have done.
In fairness, we've done this every week where we say, okay, if we are putting them right next to each other on a neutral field right now, who would you take? We've done that before to separate them. And if Vitor picks the Chiefs, then that's totally valid.
I'm 100% picking the Chiefs.
Okay.
I don't believe I'm
definitely picking the Patriots.
I think that Vitor has a very solid argument when it comes to the pedigree of teams that they've beaten. And I think that a couple of games that they have won, they have been too close for comfort. Just like the Falcons game last week. I don't think that
we knew that they would struggle with the Falcons a bit because of the run game.
No, I understand that, and I understand that they're allowed to struggle, but I'm just saying that when you're losing, not when you're losing, when you're having some trouble and it gets that close against a 3-5 football team, that you can say that the pedigree has not been quite as good. That said, the Chiefs' pedigree I don't think is quite as good either. Who have they beaten? I think the Colts, even though they lost to the Steelers this week and it wasn't very close, you could argue the Colts should still be placed ahead of both of them because they have a pedigree, a better pedigree.
No, I have the Colts above. I have the Colts above them.
I have the Colts on top too.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, I would go Colts, Chiefs, Patriots. That's how I would do it.
All right.
I would go Colts, Patriots, Chiefs. I have it how it is.
Okay. So two of us have it the way it is. Then that's good. Where do we want to go next?
Might as well just throw Arizona up there in C tier so we can populate the tier.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Falcons in D.
They might be dead men walking at this point. Where were they last week?
Giants in D.
Yeah, they were at the bottom of C last week. They're definitely moving down a tier.
Another loss, additional into the losing streak. I think that moves them down. I agree.
Yeah. I want to move the Cowboys.
Ravens can go up to C tier now, right?
Ravens? Yeah. Did we? Mm-hmm. We had the Ravens at the top of C already last week, but we were, I will say, we weren't quite as fair because we were kind of forecasting the Lamar return. But I think that they're okay remaining there is kind of what I'm getting
I think top of C tier is where they belong. Yeah. I thought we had them lower last week.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Denver? I want to talk about Denver going into this episode.
Let's hear it.
This team is the most obvious first-round exit of all time. This team does not fool me. Bro. I don't care about the record. They're going to come down to earth. I don't bite the bullet. Bo Nix is going to do to Denver what Tua did to Miami. He's going to be given a large-ass contract and play like ass. Okay, this guy, you watch him play eye test, doesn't pass it. I don't fall for it. I don't like this Denver team. I don't know if it's aura. I don't know what it is. I watch this team play, and I don't feel it. I don't know if it's a game plan thing, an intensity thing, a philosophy thing that doesn't match with how I like to watch football. But this team doesn't.
I think it's just the Sean Payton effect, dude. Whenever Sean Payton coaches a team, they have an ego that isn't enjoyable.
Maybe it's an ego thing. I don't know what it is. But I don't fuck with this team. It doesn't go down for me. I don't think. First round
Something
exit. I would have him. I have him below Tampa in B. I think.
something that I said about the Jaguars as a general statement when we were doing the head coach tier list was that I think the Jaguars play down to their bad opponents and play up to their good opponents. I think the Denver Broncos are the exact same thing.
Oh yeah.
Every game that they've played this year, with exception to the Cowboys game, has been one score. I'm pretty sure that's correct. And they have struggled against teams like the Titans, and then managed to play really well, at least in the fourth quarter, against a team like the Giants, right? So I genuinely believe that to be true.
You shouldn't have won that
And
game.
I really don't believe that, and you cannot say that they've arrived when they have that kind of a trend in them this season. They're definitely bougie for that reason.
And
And
there's
honestly-
so many missed throws on Bo Nix's tape. Actually, and I'll say this,
He's bad.
I'm saying this early, but their Thursday night game that they have coming up tomorrow against the Raiders, the best odds that you can get in that game is Bo Nix and Geno Smith to both throw one interception. Parlay that, and that is a guaranteed hit because both of them are going to have an interception in that game.
Honestly, I think
Guaranteed.
it's super likely. People are giving McCarthy a lot of shit, like 140 something yards, yada yada, 190. Bo Nix
That's
is
been
the same,
everywhere, dude. Nobody is throwing for 200 plus anymore. 200 plus is actually hard for quarterbacks to hit this year. It's been fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't know why JJ McCarthy's the only one getting shit. Like, yeah, Bo Nix is getting some shit, but like the record is really masking it. I don't think Bo Nix is that good.
Anyone hating on JJ McCarthy doesn't know what they're talking about or didn't watch the game because JJ McCarthy played really well.
He
in that
had
game.
some really close
And
throws.
the game-winning
Really
throw
close
at the
throws.
end of that first down throw at the end of the game was elite. Dropped it in a bucket, highly contested. The receiver was not open. He threw it where it needed to be to win the game.
It was his first, like, I mean, he's only played 3 games, but it was like a really, really good game, and it's all the more surprising because it was his first week back, and you're like, oh shit, like, has he really arrived? He had a couple extra weeks to really make sure he's healthy, while they were just like coasting along with Wentz, and it seems to be coming together. Plus, the offensive line being healthy again helps a lot too. But yeah. That said, the Vikings still are not tiered.
They go right in between the Ravens and Cardinals.
Yeah, we had them in deadbed walking last week. That was fair based on that
Yeah, but
trajectory.
beating
Carson
the
Wentz
S tier Lions moves you up a lot.
Yeah, that's also a good point. The Lions.
Plus, we saw them with the new O-line. I mean, the context of the Vikings changed a lot this week.
The Lions, who we just talked
way.
about.
The Lions are just such a team that keeps coming. Every single time we get high on them, they just come down to earth. I think that they just need to stay in the bottom of A tier because I think that's just where they are.
I think I'd take
Bottom
them
of
over
A.
the Eagles right now.
That's okay.
Right. I'm not saying very bottom. I'm saying like in the bottom
Okay.
half of A tier is where
Okay.
they belong.
That's fair.
No, I'm not changing my prediction. I still trust them to go all the way as I did originally, but they, gotta wake up. I think.
One thing that I will say
They
generally
should've won.
about Week 9 is that, yeah, the Lions, like, they really need to win a game like that against Minnesota, a struggling Minnesota team at home. Like, that's a tough loss
Division rival.
to
Yeah.
tough pill to swallow. But I think, and again, as a general statement from Week 9, a lot of overreactions from some of these losses this week. I was shocked by how many people are saying, like, oh my God, Daniel Jones has come down to earth again. The Colts are going to suck. They're going to lose out. Like, can we just pump the brakes a little bit?
Yeah,
They had a
no,
tough
too
matchup against the
much,
Steelers. And then it's the same thing with the Lions. Like, oh man, I think they're figured out. Like, Ben Johnson's really hurting them now. Do they win the division anymore? And
Yeah,
like, the division
too
is
early.
up in the air, in fairness, but can we pump the brakes a little bit? Teams have off weeks, Vice versa. People have been saying that the Rams have been an excellent team, and we have too. We've had them in A tier pretty much all season. But
Yeah, dude,
people-
Riz is talking
Well,
about the
one day-
Rams like they're the front runner out of the
My-
NFC, and I just don't
my
see it
criticism-
at all.
I don't see it.
my
I don't
criticism
see
with
at all.
it, my criticism with it is that why are we saying this after they beat the Saints? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. They've had an excellent season, and Stafford is playing fantastic football.
Well,
but they beat the
watching that
Saints,
game
guys.
as a Saints fan was fucking horrible, dude. Literally, just that game made me not like Sean McVay even more than I are. The Rams, fuck the Rams, bro. I am so sick of this team. Like, I know you have your hatred for them because you're a Niners fan. Saints have a little rivalry with the Rams since 2018,
Yeah, of
and
course.
we just lose every time we play the Rams. We just fucking lose, and it is so annoying. And the way that they were playing that game, throwing fucking heavy like 18 step drops into a fucking 75-yard play action pass because we're gonna chuck it deep every single fucking drive just because we know we can. Like, dog, you're already up by 25. Just run the fucking ball.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really hopeful, obviously as a Niner fan, but I'm just really hopeful the Niners can win again against the Rams this week because I think people come down to earth again on the Rams. Like, again, they're a good team, but they played the fucking Saints this week. I don't understand why we're overreacting in week 9.
They
That's
played the Saints at home in
yes.
LA
I don't. That's my
with Tyler Shuck. It wasn't even a
yeah
good Saints. It
yeah.
was the bad Saints.
That's my whole point. Why are we overreacting to week 9 football games? Like, we're saying that this team is the best in the NFL, like not even close, whatever. But then a team like the Lions lose to a gritty Vikings team, even though they haven't been playing well the past few weeks. And we're like,
And then they
oh,
got figured out. Yeah.
alarm bells, ding, ding, ding. Like, what are we doing, guys? This isn't NFL discourse. Anyway, rant over. I don't actually.
Rams are above
I agree
the
with everything you said,
Lions.
and
I think.
also the Rams have to win a meaningful game at one point, right? Like they're
That's
beating
what I'm
teams they should
saying.
beat. And
That's what I'm saying.
And when they play the team that's actually their competition, they just kind of shit the bed. I
A
don't know.
statement win would be this week against the Niners, but you need to win by 2 scores with all the injuries that the Niners have on defense. You need to win by 2 scores.
Oh yeah,
If you win by
and you
a
need to
field
have
goal,
the game the entire time.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
come out shaky.
if you win
Now-
by a field goal or if you lose outright, like you need to start having conversations. I genuinely like why are they still top 3 in the NFL when they lose a football game, But that's what's going to happen.
Right.
This is the best team in the NFC South right now.
The Panthers.
Yep,
I agree.
they are right above the Bucks.
I agree, and it's very, very close, and I'm super excited to see them play each other. But yeah, the Panthers just edged them out right now. They're 5-2 again in their last 7. They started 0-2. They've been 5-2 since. I really like their
Super
direction.
hot, been beating good teams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tapa Bougie's good for them. Chicago Bears.
Now this is the Bears and Broncos they should have their own tier called "I'm not convinced," because that is just how I feel about this team. They are bougie. That's fine. You can be top of bougie. You can be bottom of bougie. Anywhere in that realm, I'm cool with. But I'm not convinced. I haven't seen anything that has sold me on this team yet.
That's fair.
Okay.
Bengals F tier.
You think so?
I think so. There's that many bad teams this year, dude.
They are really bad, but they are very competitive in how bad they are. And I think that would be the one reason I say Dead Men Walking and not like these teams are bad.
So I agree with you, but if you look back at their schedule, there are a lot more blowouts than you remember. If you look at the Bengals schedule, they get blown out in a lot more games than you remember them getting blown out in.
Well, let's see. They obviously beat the Browns, beat the Jaguars. They got their shit rocked by the Vikings. They lost by 2 scores to
by the Bengals
to the
or
Lions.
Broncos. I mean,
yeah. All right. Well, they had a stretch of 3 games. And this wasn't really an ass beating against the Packers. I mean, they'd never had a shot of winning, but they kept it to 1 score, low 2 scores. They only really have 3 ass beating games. Now they're not winning games, but these past 3 games have been very, very close, and like down to the final minute each one.
Against the Steelers, Jets, and Bears.
I get it, but my point is that like they are
with a loss to the Jets.
They're like 30 seconds. They're like a 30-second difference from, 3-6 what they are now to 5-4, and I'm just saying. I'm only arguing for D tier here because I don't think that they are as bad as the F tier teams, and they are at least competing in games, making them close right now.
I guess.
I mean, Vitor,
can we throw the Cowboys at the top of D tier?
Are you cool with Bengals and D, or should we move them down to F?
No, I said yeah.
Oh, okay. Cowboys,
I agree
you
with
want
that.
him in D tier?
Top of D tier.
I can't agree.
Not with the
And
Falcons. I think they're closer to the Cardinals than they are to
They
the
just got
Falcons.
manhandled by the fucking
they
Cardinals off a
did.
5-game losing streak at home.
They
I
did.
think
What are we
but
doing
still
here?
they're still closer to the
What are we
Cardinals than the
doing
Falcons,
here?
bro.
They're
Their
still.
offense hasn't looked good in 3 weeks. What are we fucking doing here? Their defense is the worst in the
They're
league.
still closer to the Cardinals, and maybe
No, this is dead. They are getting their ass kicked by the Falcons if they play the Falcons. They
you really
cannot run
think
the ball
so.
in the Falcons, and they are throwing interceptions.
I
They are getting their ass
I
kicked
think
if they play the
both of
Falcons.
those teams run the football well against each other.
No, the Falcons win that game clearly.
Well, then you're not arguing for top of D tier. Then you're arguing below the Falcons.
I'm just saying they are way closer to the Falcons than the Cardinals.
Okay, but argue based on what you're actually saying. You're saying top of D tier, but they'd be ahead of the Falcons. You just said that they'd
Then
get
put
their
them
ass
below
kicked.
the Falcons.
Well, I'll
Yeah, the
I'll put
Falcons
them.
would.
I'll put them ahead of the Falcons. Then I'm not putting them below the Falcons. It's a little crazy. I still think there's a pretty firm gap between these two teams, but
You're picking
maybe it
the
gets filled.
you're picking the Cowboys to win in Atlanta.
On a neutral field. Absolutely,
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't think so.
Dude, Atlanta got manhandled by the Dolphins, bro. Come on.
They lost 30-0
With Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. That would
Is
have
Penix
happened.
supposed to be any
That
better?
would have happened with Penix too. I'm very confident.
Penix looks bad, bro.
Packers. Top of C tier.
They were in A tier last week. Definitely not sticking to A tier. I don't think they're in C
C tier is way too low. That's way
And
too low.
the
You're
Packers
right.
are-
Above the Bucks.
Yeah, I could argue above or behind them. Really, I think they're kind of in the similar space, not by team construction or anything, just by vibes right now.
Right.
I'm good with
The
I'm good with ahead or
Packers
behind.
are such a good reason why we shouldn't crown the Rams for absolutely fucking nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
To be
So
fair,
early.
nobody was really crowning the Packers after the.
Dude, I was. I made the
Browns
mistake
week.
of doing it. I made the mistake of doing it. And then the Browns showed me, yeah, it's just the fucking NFL. Dude, yeah.
Yeah. Houston Texans, they've played good football the last 2 weeks. They beat the Niners 2 weeks ago, so we had to move them up quite a bit. And then they go out and collapse against the Broncos. TJ Stroud out for we don't know how long. For a second there, I thought Davis Mills was going to come in and play better than CJ Stroud, and he did when he first came in. And then that immediately fell off once the Broncos just figured out how to stop him.
Yeah.
This team for the foreseeable future is just not good.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they're right below the Falcons and right above the Giants.
Yeah. I'm totally in agreement there. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were in bougie last week, as well as the Chargers and 49ers and Steelers, which are all the next 4 teams here.
We might have had the Jags too high last week, but I would put them bottom of bougie this week.
We kept them in B because they were coming off the bye. Keep that in mind. So we haven't really
That's
ranked them in
right.
2 weeks. I definitely think they're in C tier now. Even though they won, they again played down to an F tier team.
That's fair. I didn't want to move them too far down for no reason, but I genuinely, vibes wise, they're in between Vikings and Cardinals for me.
I think I'd take them over the Vikings right now, but it's close. It's close.
It's very close.
Vitor, any tiebreaker?
Without
That's
Travis Hunter, I
really
think the
close.
Vikings win that game.
It is
That's
really
actually-
close. I think that might be the toughest in between 2 teams that we've had today.
So far, yeah.
Mhm.
Man,
Battle of the best uniforms in the league too.
you're walling.
Wait, did I hear the
Um,
49ers? Best uniforms?
I kind of
In
want to
your
have.
dreams.
I kind of want to. Yeah. I don't know, dude. Yeah, I think Minnesota over Jacksonville.
Okay. All right, next up
And then
the
we can throw Niners above Packers, below Bucks because they lost to Bucks head to head.
yeah, I think that's fair. Nothing that really moves the needle. They won a game that they should against the Giants, and they won by 2 scores. The Michael Williams injury is fucking brutal because who's on this defensive line anymore? staying
Not
put.
Quinn Williams when you could have got him for a fucking 2027 first and 2026 second.
Yeah.
Like, if I knew it was that cheap, the Saints should have been calling. Sorry.
No, a lot of 49er fans are upset that they did not do anything at the deadline outside of Keon White, which was a few days ago. I am not that upset, honestly. I think when you really take a stock report of this team, they are so battered with injuries. They're still playing excellent football, don't get me wrong, but they are so
but
battered.
Quinn Williams can fit in so many spots. That's a guy you go get if you could go get.
I hear you, but this team desperately needs youth, and they need to hit on as many picks as they can over the next.
Not that old.
My point
Quinnen's
is
only 28.
My point is
29.
that you're giving up 2 good picks, and they need to hit on as many.
The fucking Niners.
Let me finish, please. They need to hit on as many picks as they can over the next couple of years if they want to stay relevant. Because think about it, they're going to be losing players like Trent probably this offseason. Kittle is probably limited on time. Fred Warner is probably limited on time. Christian McCaffrey limited on time. So I understand both sides. Go all in where you can, but we've done that before and we've failed. But also you have a quarterback that you signed through 5 years. You have a receiver on a rookie deal looks like a star. You have a couple of really, really solid linebackers behind Fred Warner that have played their asses off since Fred Warner got injured. You have rookie Michael Williams that you're really high on. You have a ton of rookies on the defensive line, actually, that you're really high on. You have a really nice young cornerback duo. One of them that you just paid. One of them still on a rookie deal. You have you're trending toward youth on this team, and you could
have had Quinn Williams.
You need to hit on as many picks as possible, and you also taking on money like Quinn Williams on this team already. I just don't know if that's quite feasible either, because then when it comes time to extend somebody like a Renardo Green, you're probably not going to have money for it. I get both sides. What I don't get are all the fans that are really upset with them for not doing anything. I think it's completely valid and understandable. And also, they might have offered a first and a second for Quinn Williams. We don't really know. But frankly, looking at the stock report, the 49er picks are going to be less valuable than the Cowboys. And I know they gave up a Packers pick, but that second round pick could perhaps be basically a first. It could be in the top 40. We don't know. Whereas the Niners pick is probably going to be like 60.
What I'm hearing is we could have Quinn Williams, or we could keep our first round picks. They could be anything. Even Quinn Williams.
Okay, but what if they did offer, though?
They could have. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm willing to pay more than... That's what I'm saying, is what the Cowboys paid, I'm willing to pay more for Quinn Williams.
Yeah, but we don't really know what actually happens, to say that. I don't know.
And you probably might personally value Quinn Williams more than other teams. I mean, my whole point is, I am not upset that they didn't go out and get anybody. I understand the situation that they're in, and it's a tough one. If you were like 9-0 instead of 6-3 or whatever, and your team was like relatively healthy, yes, fuck yes, absolutely. But you're not in that state. You're in a state where you're half a game back in the division, which is a very hotly contested division, and your entire roster's hurt. We have almost an entire starting lineup of backups playing. Like, do you really want to invest that much right now?
I guess that's fair.
That's my whole point. There's 2 sides to it.
My quick complaint about the Saints fucking trade deadline bullshit is that our transactions since the start of the year have been trade your 4th round pick for Devon Vele, trade Rashid Shaheed for a 4th round pick and a 5th round pick, and trade fucking Trevor Penning for a 6-7 swap. So you're essentially getting... You get the 6-7 swap for Trevor Penning, who you traded a 1st round pick to trade up for.
Sorry.
You said it twice. You said it twice.
And then fucking... You traded a 4th round pick, which is going to be the 2nd highest pick in the 4th round, for Devon Vele. And then you traded Rashid Shaheed for what's going to be one of the last picks in the 4th round pick, or in the 4th round, and one of the last picks in the 5th round. So you essentially traded down from the top 2 picks in the 4th round to one of the bottom 5 picks in the 4th round, and your only compensation is a really late 5th round pick and Devon Vele, and you
No?
got rid of Rashid Shaheed for it.
W.
I'm not
Holy
shocked
shit,
that they
dude.
sold a receiver. I'm very shocked it wasn't Chris Olave. I don't expect them to extend him.
No, we're not going to. We're going to let him go and get a 3rd round compensatory pick, and that's if he even gets a contract. He might just get a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm. To that point, I'm shocked that the Bills were quiet. I really thought that they were going to go out and get a receiver or a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Poverty franchise. Fuck the Bills.
Also, technically speaking, I want to just point this out here. Holy fuck, sorry. The Bills, I want to say my stud of the week is Maxwell Hairston, and my dud of the week is Trey Harris. So shout out to the Bills for taking Maxwell Hairston, because that seems to have worked out for them so far.
Yeah, who needs Trey Amos?
That's a good stud of the week. Yeah, you did say
Waddle's cooking him.
You did say
Waddle's
Trey
cooking
Harris,
him.
not Trey Amos, but I think we got
Trey
it.
Amos is not Trey Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good stud pick. Do we need to call 911? Hello, operator. I have a friend on a phone call who lives in Kansas. I need an emergency vehicle on the way now.
Genuinely need to.
Holy tickle in my throat.
If
God
you need
damn.
to airlift him. All right, let's place these final 3 teams here so we can move on. Chargers and Steelers were both in B tier last week, like I said. I mean, do we feel like we should move either of them? Like, the Chargers won a game they should have. It was too difficult still. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot a lot. I mean,
we kind of have to give Pittsburgh credit for dominating the best team in football.
Yeah. That was an impressive win, but is it enough to move them up a tier? Probably not.
Yeah, put them above the Eagles just because fuck Philadelphia.
You know what? I'm good with that. Chargers, though, like, ahead of the Broncos, behind the Broncos, I think they're toward the bottom of B right now, though.
I would say they're above the Packers. I'd pick them to beat Green Bay. They are also coming off of a dominant win the previous week.
You agree, Vitor?
I agree.
Okay. And then the Commanders, we had in C tier last week. I mean,
the Commanders should be put in F tier just for what they fucking did to Jaden Daniels. I'm still not over that, Dan Quinn. You're such an idiot, dude. Not actually, but come on, dude. Like, just you got to be better than that, man.
He really does.
I mean, they did just lose to the Cowboys a couple weeks ago, so probably below them. They also lost to the Falcons in week 4, but that's over a month ago.
I would pick the Falcons right now head to head, especially without Daniels. Not that Daniels has played good this year.
Yeah, Mariota's arguably been better, honestly. Okay, well, it doesn't. I don't really care that much about.
Crazy to say.
Dude,
right.
I watched every snap of his game on Sunday night. I don't know,
he kept taking sacks for 15 plus yards.
It's definitely a play calling issue. That's number one. There is definitely a play calling issue on this team. They can't get the run game going. They don't know who the best running back is on this team. They don't know who the feature guy should be. Number 2, though, it's taking way too many sacks, and these are quarterback sacks. They're not offensive line sacks. Number 3, and again, tied to the play calling issue, but it is literally what we saw in college, and what my number one concern was about him coming out of the draft was one read and take off. One read, take off. One read, take off. Yeah. He's never has.
And you saw that as soon as the first drive started. The first 2 plays were quarterback scrambles.
Yeah, he never has a check down. That's number 1. So he never even has really a second read or a dump off to go to. So he always runs for it. But why the fuck? Like, this is not an untalented core of receivers. I understand you're down Terry McLaurin, and that is a big piece that changes how dynamic you are. But you can do something better than what you've got here. And again, that's why I blame partially the play calling as well. But there just has to be something you can do where he can get 2 quick reads so we can process the field quicker. And then if he has to take off, he takes off. But one read take off is just not sustainable in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what people thought Lamar would kind of turn into, right? You got to go through your shit.
Well, that was a direct criticism of Jaden Daniels coming out of college too,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's exactly what's happening right now.
100%.
Anyway, there's our tier list. A little bit less balanced this week, but I just feel like there's just so many bad teams now, right now. It's kind of hard to
The
balance.
parity has definitely led to lower quality football, unfortunately.
Yep.
They're quality games, but not as dominant, right?
They're-
Which is good. I prefer like this, but
See, I don't know if I would even say it's quality games, dude. I'm so sick of the every single fucking game is 70 minutes long in the fourth quarter because every single team can just get a field goal on a whim. I'm so over it. It's
No,
not fun.
I completely agree. I hate the new kickoff stuff. I hate that we started the 35. I think that is so fucking stupid.
The new system is so stupid that if you get a penalty on your 2-point conversion, it is beneficial to kick the ball out of bounds. That is how stupid the new system is. If you kick the ball out of bounds and you have the... So let's say, for example, you just got a touchdown and the opponent commits a personal foul. You take that on the kickoff and then you kick it out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. They only get the ball at the 25. That is how stupid the rule is.
yeah.
I'm
A
so
first down, barely a first
done.
down, and you're almost in field goal range. Yeah.
Yep.
That was my criticism at the very beginning of the year, if you guys remember. I'm like, what is
Yep,
this
I do
bullshit? A
remember.
15-yard gain and you're in field goal range? Like, this is fucking stupid. It's so stupid. What happened to, like, marching your troops down the field for an 80-yard score? I want
To
that
actually
football
score,
back.
Yep. Yeah.
And we wonder, Jacob, we talked about why passing yards are down this year. I mean, there you go. We're literally
You don't have to
every
march
drive
much, yeah.
every drive is 15 yards shorter than it was a decade ago.
Yeah, I mentioned that preseason as well. Is the passing yard numbers were down because the ball starts at the 35. You immediately are getting 10 yards taken off of your drive every time.
Yep.
And that might not sound like a lot, but 10 yards out
It
of
is. No, it's a
75
lot.
is over it's over 15%. That's over 15% of your yards. That is going to be a significant hindrance on counting stats.
Yep. And that's why
That might, or I'm pretty, or yeah, no, that's a much more significant percentage than an additional game. So even though there are 17 games, if you're getting 15% less yards per game, you're going to be making or getting less yards on a season than, for example, Peyton Manning in 2015. People are not going to throw for that anymore. That's just not going to get hit.
No.
And people are going to be like, oh, well, whenever the season gets 18 games, it'll happen. It won't happen. It's not going to happen like people think it will because there's not going to be these dominant passing games like Patrick Mahomes is right now. Running offense is making a comeback in the NFL and is becoming a higher priority for a lot of teams, especially with dual threat quarterbacks.
Yep.
So we will never see a passer throw for as many passing yards as Tom Brady, Drew Brees, any of them.
you know what's going to
That's
happen
not
to
going
the
to happen
sport
again.
in like 50 years. The injuries issues are going to be so big that what's going to happen is you're going to have 4 downs to get 20 yards to score a touchdown. So the field is going to be 40 yards long or whatever, not 120, 40. And you're going to have 4 downs to get 20 yards. That's going to be the league.
Yeah.
It's going to be arena football.
That's it.
And they're going to make it with the real steel robots.
Yeah. Fucking battle bots.
Dude, imagine
football.
making diving catches with the real steel.
Yeah,
Man, that'd be electric.
that's what the NFL is going to be. All right, well, that's our tier list. Do we want to do rapid fire pick'ems? I mean, we it's kind of tradition, but we've already run a long time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just do like 30 or not like just pick the game.
All right.
For each game.
So, first up this week, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos on Thursday Night Football. I've got the Broncos, but I do think it's going to be actually pretty close just because it's a division game and it's prime time. And it's Broncos.
I got the Broncos as well. Betting value is only on J.K. Dobbins, Brock Bowers touchdown, and then also both quarterbacks to throw an interception. That's all the value in that game. Rufy, you got Broncos as well?
I've pretty much announced myself as a Broncos hater this season, but
Yeah.
I can't not pick them at home
The
against
Raiders are
the
bad.
bum ass
The
Raiders.
Raiders are
Yeah,
really bad.
player to watch Mims. I'm a fan of Mims.
Hey,
Yeah,
Marvin Mims, Boomer Sooner.
yeah, I'm a fan of his. If there's one thing I like in Denver, yeah, it's Marvin Mims. There you go.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Next up,
Jacksonville Jaguars going to Houston. I got the Jags taking it home.
yeah, I've got the Jaguars as well, but I'm not happy about it. I don't think this is a very good team right now. The really
This
I'm
is
not
not
betting
a
this
safe
game.
the
pick.
real
I'm not betting
difference.
this
Do
game.
not put this on your
Yeah,
parlay.
the real difference I think is if Stroud doesn't play, I'm definitely picking the Jaguars. But if Stroud plays, I think he keeps it close because he's played some decent football the past couple weeks.
Honestly, they can win with Davis.
I think they can, but it's a lot safer with Davis Mills.
You mean with Stroud?
No, the
You're
Jaguars are a
saying
lot
the
safer.
Jags pick
Yes.
is a lot safer with
Yeah,
Davis
for the
Mills.
Jaguars to win.
That
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
I'm going with the sorry, not with the with the Jaguars here. Wouldn't
Yeah,
be
better
shocked at all though if Texans pull this off.
Mm-hmm.
Player to watch ETN.
Hey, we were talking about this before the game, or before we were live. Tickets to the Browns and Jets are as cheap as $48. So if you want to see the ultimate tank bowl on Urinating Trees channel live in action,
Oh my goodness.
$48 is all it takes, man. That's all it takes to go to MetLife Field to watch Dylan Gabriel tear his ACL.
Yeah, that would be something, right? Then we are forced to have Shador the rest of the season. Look, the Browns are going to win this game. I think.
Shador comes in and tears his ACL too.
Oh, jeez. The Browns are going to win this game. I think they control it.
That would put Deshaun Watson in the game. Oh my fucking god, that would be perfect.
Is he even like rostered as an
He
emergency?
would be the
QB?
emergency quarterback.
Is he their emergency quarterback?
I mean, he's the only other quarterback on the roster.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's listed as an emergency quarterback. They might put in.
They
like
have to
fucking-
have one
they
though,
might-
don't they?
It could be anybody. It doesn't have to be a quarterback necessarily.
Why is he on the team?
Because they owe him that much money. But yeah, look, Browns are going to control this game. The Jets were just huge sellers, so that defense is going to be bad. I'd actually be interested in seeing Dylan Gabriel have a decent game this week. So yeah, that's what I got.
I got the Jets winning.
Okay.
I got the Browns winning. I think the Jets out tanked the Browns. I mean, fuck, bro.
I need the Jets to win so that way the Saints can be underneath them.
Listen, you and I, bro. I mean, I'm kind of hoping the Jets win it, but I don't know.
Well, you guys have multiple wins already, so you're already fucked.
Dude, you're gonna win another game soon, buddy. Don't worry.
And a win over the
We're
Jets
waiting
at
this
that.
week, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's so funny, bro.
Next up, the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. I've got the Bills in this game, of course. They're rolling right now after the bye, but I do think it stays within 2 scores. I don't expect it to be an ass beating.
What was the score when the Dolphins played the Broncos? 70-20?
Yes, but the
Dolphins
won that game.
I got the Bills winning 70-3.
All right.
The 3-point scored are going to be all on 2-point conversions being returned for 1 point.
Gotcha.
You're so funny, Jacob.
You're welcome.
Resident Dolphins fan, what do you got?
Listen, we're playing the team I hate the most at home. They're pretty good.
And the most likable guy of the league is the quarterback on the other team.
Not likable at all. Fuck that guy.
He's so likable, your quarterback loves him.
My quarterback, oh my fucking god, bro. Like, what did I do to deserve
Dude,
this, bro?
he's so likable that your quarterback actively practices throwing to his receivers.
Yeah, he gets the best live reps is during the game.
Yeah.
I really want to know. Like, you know when people ask, if you had to ask one question to God, what would you ask? I would ask God, what did I do to deserve this, bro? Like, seriously, what the fuck did I do? Because I get a quarterback. I hate the Bills. I despise the Bills. And my quarterback is glazing Josh Allen publicly. I mean, what do I do, man? What can I do about that? How can I defend the guy? How can I defend
You
the
want some
integrity?
cream with that glazed donut?
Like that to me is just pretty obvious that if Tua's glazing Josh Allen, no one on the team hates the Bills. Like, isn't that pretty obvious? Like, if my quarterback, like if I'm Jordan Brooks, for instance, well, if my quarterback doesn't hate the Bills or Josh Allen, why should I? Why would I?
As a
You
matter
know,
of
if
fact,
my
trade
quarterback.
me.
I bet Tyreek Hill hates the Bills.
I think Tyreek Hill hates everybody, including the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill just is hating.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a hateful person.
Dare I say he's a domestic abuser?
Dare I say you might be completely and factually correct, allegedly.
Allegedly,
Well, all
that's
of this,
confirmed in court.
all of this to say that even if we're tanking, even if my team is shit, and
And this is why you don't trade multiple draft picks for domestic abusers, ladies and gentlemen. It didn't work out for the Browns, and it hasn't worked out for the Dolphins. Anyways, let's get through these picks. We got the Bills beating the Dolphins.
Miami's winning this game. I'm gonna say this every single week. I don't give a shit. We can be playing the 85 Bears, and Ewers at QB. I'm picking the Miami Dolphins.
That's great.
Yeah, your chances of winning this game were lost when River Craycraft left the Dolphins.
Yep.
I miss him.
All right, give me the Chargers to win at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I've got the Steelers in this one, actually. I think the matchup is pretty decent for Pittsburgh this week. I just don't know if LA can consistently get the run game going at this point. Vidal's looked good, but they just don't. They just can't get much going. It seems like week by week. Herbert has been a little bit suspect as well, especially to start games. How is that going to look against a good team in the Steelers? So I've got the Steelers in this one, but I'm not happy about it.
I think Kamani Vidal is going to go crazy, and the Chargers are going to show the Steelers how Caleb Johnson should be used.
I mean, I'd be for it if it happens.
I remember in the first 3 weeks when everyone was like, "Oh my God, Herbert, MVP frontrunner." Third week, by the way.
Barufi, D1 Herbert hater.
Known, yeah, very known.
Barufi logs as many hours hating Justin Herbert as Tua does glazing Josh Allen.
He definitely glazes Josh Allen more than I hate Herbert. 1000%.
I don't know, man. You're a pretty committed Herbert hater.
I'm not actually a Herbert hater, bro. Like, I don't know. I do think he's a
It
little
would
bit
be
overrated.
low-key funny if you went duck hunting just to have a picture of you holding up a dead duck to be like, or to be showing hate to Justin Herbert as a former Oregon Duck.
Yeah, if I see him in person, I'm definitely doing it. I'm grabbing one of those fucking ugly-ass rubber ducks and throwing at him. Nah, sorry, Herbert. I wouldn't throw anything at you. Anyways.
One of those that makes a really loud squealing sound.
Yeah, fucking chicken. But seriously, I do think Chargers win this game. You calling me a Herbert hater? I'm an even bigger Steelers hater. I think it's enough.
Valid, bro.
I think it's enough of this bullshit. The defense is playing better now. I'm being less of a hater, so maybe they keep it going. Like Anthony said, the matchup might be favorable for the Steelers. I can see that. The Chargers might need a running game on this one, and I don't know if they can establish it. But I have the feeling, playing at home, Chargers got it going.
Guys, the Chiefs are on a bye week. I get to see a different team play for my regional. Oh my god.
That's pleasant.
Oh, I love week 10.
Well,
the Colts are going to smoke the Falcons. I don't know why Riz thinks this is a close game. I think the Colts are going to be picking Michael Penix off all day.
so it is an international game, and the Colts, a little bit shaky last week, and they're, I think some questions are
Sauce
valid.
is getting 2 picks.
I think some questions are valid. I think some of the questions that are being asked, though, are ridiculous. I am picking the Colts here. I'm curious. I'll say that. If the Colts really struggle again this week, I think you might be looking into something, some kind of dissension, because this is not a good Falcons team, in our opinion. They're losing a lot of games recently, not able to get anything going offensively. So this should be a Colts win.
I agree. But I'm with Jacob here. I do think it should be an ass beating. It's a game where the Colts should play with fire. Gannon, right? Fire in their gut
This is a game where
and
the
actually get it back.
Falcons shouldn't be able to move the ball. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see the Falcons having a lot of success on offense here.
Well, the same way we say that the coach should get it back on track. I mean, maybe Falcons show some pride and actually do something this game. Like, I don't think that's out of the question.
Yeah, but their coach doesn't have any sense of pride in
No,
this team.
yeah, I'm well aware, and I said it too. But who knows, man? Maybe.
International game,
Maybe.
neutral ground. I mean, anything could happen there.
So we have the Battle of the Purple People in the next game with the Ravens at Vikings. This is a really important game for both teams. This is a game that decides probably their chances to win the division here. This is one of those games where it's two heavy set college teams that have multiple losses already, and one of these teams is getting eliminated from playoffs in week 10. And I'm sure that the playoff chances of with win versus with loss for both of these teams is significant
They change
difference.
drastically. I can definitely see it. Vikings in a stacked
Um,
division. They're
so for
they're
that
fun.
reason, this is my game of the week because I think this is the most impactful game on the season so far.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be taking the Ravens here. I think that Lamar Jackson is going to be too much for Brian Flores.
I I like that. I'm going the other way though. I think Minnesota actually makes the division even more competitive and actually shows Baltimore, listen, you had a shit start. Lamar coming back is not going to be enough. He's not just going to carry you into the playoffs. You're going to have to really work for it. And, going to
I think
Minnesota,
Lamar coming back plus their schedule getting extremely easy.
yeah, but this is where Minnesota kind of shows that you have to actually win, just
Hmm.
beat the teams just on paper. So,
Right.
yep, I think Minnesota pulls it off.
Must-win game for sure. I am leaning with the Ravens right now. I think it's down to the wire, potentially on a game-winning score of some sort. Actually, though, Jacob, you do bring an interesting point, but not the intention that you had. You bringing up Brian Flores against Lamar Jackson made me think back to the Dolphins days with Brian Flores, where the Dolphins kind of had the Ravens number at that time. And so I think that makes it a very, very interesting matchup because I think Brian Flores
Yeah, but it wasn't
has.
because Lamar didn't dominate them. I mean, even the game where we had Tua throwing for those crazy touchdowns to come back and win against
That's
them.
not the game I'm talking about. There are other games before that season where Lamar genuinely struggled against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins kind of won by a couple scores on a couple of occasions. I just think there's some ownage there that could be a factor in this game. That's all I'm saying. I'm still picking the Ravens, and it's going to be very close.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Next up, the
Bucks off the bye week hosting the Patriots. This is probably the
This is a
second
good
best
game.
game of the week. Hardest game to pick, I think, of the week. I don't know who I'm going with.
I'm going Tampa. I
This
think,
is this is a bucket full of cum for me. I'm sorry.
yo,
all right,
We got Drake May facing off against Baker Mayfield here.
that is true. That is the matchup. Do we know if Bucky Irving's playing?
I don't.
I don't, but that's a big factor.
I think
If
if
you're bringing
Bucky
that up,
plays, that might be the difference maker for me because the Bucks offense has clearly not been quite the same without Irving, and
Without
I
him.
think him just being available in the pass game, and Rashad White is a capable receiver as well, but I think Bucky just has that extra burst, has that extra running ability, and I think that
Hmm.
element in the pass game is going to be good, and it's going to help scheme the receivers open more because he's just going to be such a factor, similar to Chris McCaffrey, right? On the field, wherever he lines up, it's going to be a problem. So that could be the difference for me. Right now, I'm leaning the Patriots because I don't know the status of Bucky Irving.
I think I'm going to take the Bucks regardless of the status of Bucky Irving. I think that Antoine Winfield Jr. does get an interception in this game. I think that Todd Bowles is going to have the defense ready with the bye week. And I think they're going to come in here with a good game plan to help, or at least slow down Drake May. And I think if you can slow down Drake May, then you can make the Patriots offense one-dimensional enough to where Baker Mayfield can keep up, regardless of if the offense is firing on all cylinders or not.
yeah, yeah. Having a bad, you already cannot establish the running game, and then you go up against a Tampa run defense. You're gonna have even more issues to establish the run, and then Drake May is gonna be overloaded. I think in this game, and I trusted the Bucks defense to handle it. I see this as a bump in the Patriots schedule. I think, but now if the Patriots actually beat this team, going to Tampa don't think it's a good matchup, then maybe it changes how I look at them. And yeah, I hate the Patriots as I'm not scared to admit that I'm wrong, and I'm a big Drake May guy. I've said that plenty of times, so I can definitely see the Patriots winning this game, but I'm going with Tampa on this one.
It's definitely a tough game, but to refute a little bit of what you guys are saying here,
Okay.
the fact that the Patriots offense being one dimensional doesn't really scare me that much because that's what it's been already for the past few weeks. They just can't establish the run even against bad run defense teams. So that's not as big of a concern for me as it is for you guys. And then number two, I'd also be a little concerned on the opposite end, especially if Bucky doesn't play, like I said, about Baker Mayfield against the secondary. This is one of the better secondaries in general, but also at creating some very clutch turnovers this season so far. So I think that could, for Baker, who's been shaky over the last few weeks, obviously, with exception to the bye, that could pose to be a problem.
Fair enough.
All right.
I can't remember coughing this much in my life.
Yeah, you're having a fit over there. Next up, the New York Giants at the Chicago Bears. Sloppy soldier here. I've got the Bears to win relatively comfortably. I just think that New York is trending down big time post Scatabo injury, post Eagles win about a month ago now, and there's no reason that should stop here. They certainly can win this game. You know, the Bears have lost more embarrassing or worse games before, but I really like the way that they're playing right now. I think that their offense is kind of clicking for the first time this season, both passing and run game is what I mean by that. So I've got the Bears here.
Yeah, it
I got
worked
the
out
Bears
for
as
me
well.
last week. I'm going to be taking the Giants here. This is going to be my what the fuck upset of the week.
I'm going with the Bears.
All right. Next up, my survivor pick of the week, the Carolina Panthers hosting the New Orleans Saints. I think the Panthers come in here, they're on a bit of a hot streak despite the Bills' loss a couple weeks ago. They're just playing really, really solid football, I think, good complementary football, and this is a really, really nice opponent to have in the middle of the season where you really want to start to go on a run in a loaded NFC.
Yeah, the Panthers should blow out the Saints in this game. I got a
Yeah,
weird
going with the
feeling the
Panthers.
Saints might keep it close, but the Panthers should take care of business.
Yeah, it can be. It's definitely a sus game. Like it's just one of those random games that a tanking team wins against a division rival, and the division rival is still, yeah, it's playing well, but maybe trying to find its footing. Um, long way to go for the Panthers still. So kind of sus, but I'm going with the Panthers.
Next up, the Seahawks at home rather against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals rolling a bit with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. Their offense is clicking a lot better. Clearly a better fit
I
for the
mean,
scheme.
first game in 6 games that they won.
But they played the Colts within a score. They played the Packers within a score, both with Brissett. I'm not putting the losses on the backup quarterback just as much as I'm not putting the wins
I
that the
guess that's
Cardinals
fair.
had early in the year on Kyler Murray. I think they kind of won in spite of him early in the year. But point being, I still think that the Seahawks are the best team in the NFL right now. They're absolutely rolling. It would be a little bit of a surprise if they lost this one at home. It is against a division rival, so that's why it could be close, but I still have Seahawks by 2 scores.
I have
Yep,
Seahawks by multiple scores as well.
and multiple scores. Yeah.
All right. Next up, the San Francisco 49ers in Levi's North, their own stadium this week, against the Los Angeles Rams. I'm, of course, picking my Niners, as I do every week. It's an obligation at this point, but I do expect the Rams to win this one. The last time that these two teams played, the Rams did not have Puka Nacua, and the 49ers had Fred Warner. This time, the opposite is the case. The 49ers lack Fred Warner, and the Rams have Puka Nacua. That could be very well be the difference here.
The Rams need to work the middle of the field in this game if they want to win. Give me the Niners.
Um, it's a game where the Rams put themselves in the map. Like, oh, we actually won a relevant game here. I guess. We're true contenders. But it's a hard game. It's a division matchup. The Niners know how to play against the Rams. It's sus. It's very sus. Maybe like the Rams. It's a very meaningful game for the Rams, but also for the Niners because everyone has their eyes on the Rams, and forgetting about the Niners because all the injuries. I don't discard the Niners whatsoever. So, going with the Niners as well. It's kind of crazy that we have a sweep here. It's one of the closest games.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I think I like on this one.
I am like I'm of course picking the Niners technically, but in spirit I am kind of picking the Rams. I do think they win this one, and it's mostly because of the personnel that's going to be on the field.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just got the Niners taking care of business.
I would love it if
They
they
should have
happen.
Purdy back this week, right?
They could. The choice is whether to actually play him or not. He's practicing. But as we know with turf toe, like if you play and you re-aggravate it, that's just even more time off. That's what happened against the Jaguars. They rushed him too early, and we're paying the price for it now.
As the Niners often do, right? Don't
look,
they always rush
they,
guys out?
they rush guys back out,
Oh, yeah.
and just the team medical staff is just so bad. So look, I would prefer it at this point because Mac Jones is doing a good enough job. You know, he was obviously excellent to start the year, and he's really, just plateaued, which is fine. He's a very good backup, low-end starter, in my opinion, and he's probably is playing himself into a contract once this contract's done, or playing himself into a trade in the offseason or something. But frankly, like, I would not play Purdy until after the bye. The bye is in week 14 this season. Then you can get, if you're continuing to contend, you get him back in week 15. You finish the season with him, and then you gear up for the playoffs if you're in that spot. That's what I would do.
Fair enough.
You make sure he's healthy.
Yeah, that's a little important.
All
I
right.
think.
Can we get this wrapped up?
Next up, the Lions. On the road against the Commanders. I'm definitely picking the Lions here, especially in light of more of the Commanders' injuries. I can see the upset because I have said on the show that Mariota has played better at a lot of the time, actually, this season than I think Jaden Daniels has collectively. So it's possible, but I'm definitely taking the safer pick here. I need to recuperate some wins on my season record.
Yeah, Lions are definitely
One of
winning
the
this
Lions,
game.
they need to bounce back.
And then we have Eagles off the bye going into Lambeau Field for Monday Night Football. I got the Eagles taking care of business here, mostly because they're coming off the bye. Just had more time to prepare for this game. Packers haven't looked like themselves lately either.
This is a classic game where Jalen Phillips gets 3 sacks, and I'm just like, fuck my fucking life. It's so obvious. Yeah, I got the Eagles. I do think we're gonna have a very good plan for Love, and I think the offense maybe they start going deep a little more. And the passing game did work out a little better recently, so we'll see. I think the Eagles get back on track. I think they have been a little slow. I think they're gonna start flowing better, especially against the Packers team. That seems to be like on and off during games. The team seems to be like a good opportunity.
The Eagles have had the Packers number the last couple years. With Jordan Love as the starting quarterback there. So I'm fully expecting the Eagles to win and potentially roll over the Packers here. Packers a little bit shaky the last couple weeks, as you mentioned, so that is also a part of it too. And I think the Eagles just create a couple turnovers here.
I didn't even realize that Jalen Phillips got traded.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, I didn't even see that trade.
Yeah,
what was the value on it?
We got a third.
Oof.
That's pretty good. Expiring
trade,
deal.
yeah.
It's expiring deal.
Extensive injury history.
Injury prone. I'm a big fan of
That's
Phillips. But I'll be lying if I say I'm surprised.
Right.
Big fan of Ezra. I wish him the best in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, good fit. They're gonna use him well for sure.
He often gets pressure, and in a Philly team where he's going to be schemed open to get even more pressure, he's going to finish more. So I think it's kind of very good fit, I think.
Good. Well, that was our rapid fire picks of the week. It feels like we have a lot of straightforward picks, and then we have a couple that are really, really close contended
There's
games.
a lot of good games, yeah.
So we have the games where we're definitely we know which ones we'll be watching throughout the weekend. So definitely keep a close eye on the Ravens at Vikings. Keep a close eye Patriots at Bucks. Although I'm sure both those teams will be fine regardless of who wins. And then other big ones would be like Eagles and Lambeau, as well as the Niners and Rams. But really fun week of football. Really exciting trade deadline. Got to another episode here of Coast Knows Ball. Rufy, do you want to give us our coastal call since you came back this week?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've missed you guys and missed the pod. It was fun. Obviously, I got to talk about the Broncos a little bit. Broncos fans, if you want to roast me, feel free to do so. But, yeah, I'm not backing off of it. So, This has been Coast to Coast.
Drink mug root beer, not a sponsor.
Yeah, not in a cup, by the way. Do it like that. Very manly, very beautiful.
Use 2 hands though, so you don't spill.
So a boy, lovely. Instead, excited for this week. I hope you guys are as well. This
It's a
has been
grown man
Coast-
sippy cup.
Indeed. And here goes coughing again. Yep, there we go. Root beer causes coughing.
Fucking
Yep.
idiot.
Fuck you guys.
And obviously, as always, please subscribe, share, like, send this to your fellow Broncos fan. I'm
Yep.
sure he's gonna love to hear it.
Yep.
Yep. And yeah, thanks for listening. See you guys next week.
See ya.
Goated.
Goated. Yep, goated.